weather update.
And a good Saturday morning to you, Chief Meteorologist Richard Scott, along with Jacob Lanier in the Weather Center. We got Chris Dodson in the control room. We are continuing to bring you this information of what's happening across the area because we've got some severe thunderstorms coming into West Alabama now. And these are packing a punch. They come on in. Now, look at the radar. You see the line of storm stretches from about Hamilton down through central Lamar County into western Pickens County. This activity is moving off towards the east. Now, the line itself is moving east, but the individual storms are moving more towards the northeast, if that makes sense. And let me take you into some of these stronger storms back into West Alabama. Again, these are severe. We did have some tornado warnings back in East Mississippi, but the National Weather Service decided to issue a severe thunderstorm warning in our counties in our area based off the lack of rotation. But again, a heads up, Vernon, you got some very heavy rain, some strong winds coming through town that stretches down towards Millport and Kennedy, as well into southern Lamar County, Pickens County, Ethelsville, back towards a Reform. We got a severe storm coming your way as well. And again, damaging winds the main concern with this activity. Let me pan you down the line here and show you the other storms we got ongoing because this activity is moving eastward at a pretty good clip. Again, down towards Pickensville and the Memphis community, Aliceville, the storms are not as intense here. The National Weather Service does not have a warning for you, but understand there's going to be some gusty winds with that as it comes on through. Another little Boeing segment that's coming up through Scuba, Mississippi, ML, Alabama. Again, that is tracking up towards Geiger. That's moving northeast. In fact, northern Sumter County is also under severe thunderstorm warning. Currently, for areas around Tuscaloosa, there are no severe weather activity happening at the moment, but understand this will come our way here just a little bit later on. We got a tornado watch that goes until 7 o'clock tonight. And that includes roughly everybody along Interstate 65, all the counties along the interstate, and points to the west back into East Mississippi. Now we got Jacob Lanier, who's in the Weather Center. And Jacob, you got an update on the warnings we got out there now, a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings?
Yeah, that's right, Richard. You were mentioning in Lamar and Pickens County, we do have a severe thunderstorm warning until 12:30, and that is mainly for damaging wind gusts up to 60 miles per hour. Richard was showing you that radar, and that's kind of a Boeing segment, and that's where we could see wind gusts up to 60 miles per hour. We also have a severe thunderstorm warning south of there in Sumter County. That warning also goes until 12:30 with damaging wind gusts up to 60 miles per hour as well, Richard. So damaging wind is our main threat right now.
Yeah, Jake, that's what it looks like. And again, you see the tornado warning back in Mississippi as this activity is moving in Alabama. It has shown signs of weakening in terms of the rotational signature. I do want to mention this. Here's our timeline of what you could expect at your house. Now, this line is moving east like this. So between now and about 8 o'clock, areas generally along and to the west of Interstate 65, you'll be impacted by these storms. Now, East Alabama, 5 p.m. through midnight. We're talking about areas east of Birmingham, east of Clanton, across far east Alabama. The higher potential for damaging winds and perhaps a tornado is over here in West Alabama. Once you get in East Alabama, later this evening, tonight, the air will be a little more stable over there. So the chance of widespread severe weather is a little bit lower, but understand there's still a chance for damaging straight line winds. Again, that's going to be the primary concern. There's also a chance for flash flooding. I do want to mention that. We do have storm spotters out there that are watching the activity as well. I do want to mention that. Again, we'll continue to watch those feeds carefully. Looks like our guys over there are about to get some food, which is a good idea. It's about lunchtime. Now, here's a live look. This is from Tuscaloosa. Okay, we're looking off towards the west, and you see some of those darker clouds. Let me take that off the side of the screen there. We got 78 degrees the current temperature in Tuscaloosa now. The wind is out of the south, very gusty at about 15 miles per hour. And there's a lot of moisture and instability around, so these storms are going to continue to feed off of that as we move on in. So keep in mind, we're in a day where we're going to have some severe storms, likely numerous severe thunderstorm warnings with this, and potential for a couple of tornadoes as well. But understand the tornado threat is lower than the damaging straight line wind threat. Now, we often talk about this in Alabama. You know, when you're under severe thunderstorm warning, people tend to be a little more complacent with that. Now, understand severe thunderstorm can produce weak tornado-like damage. So if you're under severe thunderstorm warning, treat it like a tornado warning, you know, and go to an interior room, kind of hang out away from the windows because it doesn't take much to knock trees down with damaging straight line winds. Now, we got warm air in Tuscaloosa back towards the Linden and points towards east. That's where your unstable area is. You can kind of see where the instability is. If you follow that little yellow divider line there that goes into northwest Alabama, areas out ahead of that, that's where the environment is capable for severe weather. Dew Point, how about 70? in Jasper. Incredibly humid air mass, 68 in Tuscaloosa. Dew point's a little bit lower further north and west you go. Again, that's where the air's a little more stable. Here's this activity to kind of show you how it looks on radar, and this is going to continue to slide off towards the east, a line of thunderstorms and very heavy rain with that. As this system gets a little more energized later this afternoon, we'll likely see some of these storms kind of re-intensify as they move eastward across our state. Again, flash flooding is a potential concern. Here's our computer model, and take this into about 2:30. See the heavy storms over West Alabama. 4 o'clock, those are impacting Interstate 65. 6 o'clock, it's just a mess across much of Alabama. The risk, though, of severe weather is going to be on the leading edge of that, like right in there. All this back here is just going to be some heavy rainfall. And look at 8:30, still pouring out there. Again, that's why I'm concerned about the potential for some flash flooding. Midnight still raining quite heavily here in Alabama. All right, so information online, if you go over to WVUA23.com, we've got a live severe weather stream on there. If you click on the weather tab and hit that option there for live severe weather. Also a weather blog. Jacob's doing a great job updating that. I'll be updating that as well. WVUA23.com. Click the weather tab, weather blog option, and Twitter and Facebook. If you get damage pictures or reports, please send those to us. Again, that information right there on your screen. I do want to mention, by the way, the Tuscaloosa Regional Air Show for today has been canceled, which is a great idea. I understand officials that were thinking about what to do for today made the right decision. You don't want a lot of people out in wide open without shelter. That's a bad scenario, bad possibilities, what could happen with that. So, again, officials there have canceled for today. Jacob?
I do want to chime in, Richard. We do have a brand new tornado warning for Fayette and Lamar counties.
Okay.
That was that rotation you were watching very closely over Vernon.
Okay.
And that is now moving off to the east now at about 45 miles per hour. So that tornado warning is for Fayette and Lamar counties, and it goes until noon.
Okay, so we're going to stay on air nonstop now. As we got a tornado warning for our counties and our coverage area. Let me take you into that. And again, Jacob, thank you for pointing that out. Something we have been watching, some rotation that had been developing across northwest Alabama. So let me take you into that. Again, this is up here, that little kink in that line right in here. There's your tornado warning polygon. Okay, and I do want to mention we're also live on Facebook. And Jacob, if you don't mind, if you'll share that on mine, my Facebook as well. Again, just more options for you. We're on Facebook Live nonstop as well as on television and our website. Again, there's your tornado warning polygon. The area rotation is right there. Let me pull on the velocity, and we're going to look at this live on the air. And again, there's our little couplet there, a kink in the line. That's where the tornado would be if there's a tornado here that's trying to spin up. We'll pull on the hazard display. And computer's not picking up anything there, but I can tell you there is certainly rotation with that. Okay. There's our velocity signature. You see the strong, bright coloration there to the west of Fayette. That's where your tornado is going to be. I'm going to put on the warning polygon, show you where the warning is, okay? It's a small polygon for a tornado warning that is southeast of Vernon, north of Millport and Kennedy, okay? There's the Fayette County line. Let me zoom in closer to this, and I do want to mention we also have a larger severe thunderstorm warning in effect for Lamar down towards Pickens County. So again, the red polygon, that is a tornado warning that's in effect for, again, east central Lamar County and west central Fayette County. The Bluff community, okay, you're in that. It's north of Fayette. If you're going up on Highway 107, we want you to pull off, find a place of safety. If you're on Highway 18 that kicks to the east of Vernon, if you're east of Vernon, again, pull over, find a safe place. There's a lot of hills and trees in here. So we want, you know, if you're trying to look for this thing, forget about it. You're not going to be able to see it. Again, we've got a tornado signature that's about to cross the Fayette County line. I'm going to pull on the radar display and show you what we got here. I'll tell you what, I'm going to go to Columbus. And there it is there. You see that little appendage out on the front side of that storm. Now, these are interesting features because we've seen this happen several times before. You have a line of storms, and what's happening is there's a gust front that's associated with that. The cool air that rushes out ahead of these storms, and then on that gust front, right on the leading edge of the thunderstorm, the updraft gets pinched, and we have this mesocyclone form, and rotation spins down to the surface, forming your tornado. And you can actually see the rain that wraps around that mesocyclone. That's just on the south side of Highway 18, and it's moving northeast just like that. Again, it's an interesting feature because when we look at a supercell thunderstorm, the rotational signatures on the southwest side of this, well, this is on the front side of the storm, okay? So this isn't going to be on the southwest side back here. Your tornado is going to be actually right here. It's a little bit of a difference when you're dealing with a line of storms, a QLCS. That's a quasi-linear convective system, a technical term for a squall line, we call it. And again, your rotation is going to be on the front side of that. Let me zoom into this a little bit tighter. And Jacob, what was the speed on that? It's moving northeast at what?
It is moving to the northeast, I think, at 45 miles per hour.
All right, so your rotational couplets right here. This is your pendage. Again, this whole thing is rotating just like that on the front side of this squall line. Okay, this is Lamar County right here. This is Fayette County. The city of Fayette's back here. This is going to be to the north of the city of Fayette, okay? That's where the potential for a tornado is. There's Highway 18, so this thing's going to cross Highway 18 somewhere to the west of Fayette, northwest of Fayette. Your signatures there. We'll pull on the velocity display and show you what we got. Again, we got a rotating thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado. And there you go. You see some the bright colorations here of pink shade. That represents some pretty powerful winds. We can actually see how strong the winds are with that. And kind of give you an idea of how powerful the winds are inside of this thing. And look at it, 50, 60 mile an hour winds. But understand, it doesn't take much before this thing could spin down a tornado. So I know it doesn't seem like a lot, but there could easily be a quick spin up tornado in here. More than likely, this would not be a violent tornado. But if you live in a mobile home, understand, if you're in a mobile home, you got to get out. Mobile homes cannot withstand anything stronger than an EF0 tornado. If you're an EF1 tornado, which is considered a weak tornado, that is a very dangerous place to be in a mobile home. So again, there's your tornado right there, your potential tornado. Let me clear that off. And it's tracking northeast into Fayette County. Again, here's Highway 18. If you go back to the west on 18, you run into downtown Vernon. Okay, your rotational couplet's moving northeast, so let's follow this thing northeast with you. Okay, there's Highway 18 that runs down to Fayette. Okay, Highway 107, where the interchange of Highway 18 and 107, that's where your couplet's going to be crossing. Right there, looks like your tornado signature is right on top of Highway 18, just to the west of that interchange of 107 in West Fayette County. So again, if you're in a trailer or mobile home, if you're in a car, you got to get out of that, find a site-built structure, a storm shelter. You got to do that because understand a car and a mobile home cannot withstand strong tornado winds. Site-built structure, you need to be in an interior room that's away from windows. Put as many walls between you and the outside as you can. And again, you'll be safe if you do that. If you've got a basement, that's a wonderful idea. Go ahead and do that. In fact, if you're anywhere in central Alabama under that tornado watch area, and if you live in a mobile home, it'd be a good idea to just go hang out with a friend for a while and let this move on past you because this activity could easily produce several tornadoes today. Also, the potential for damaging straight-line winds. So just because you're not under a tornado warning in other areas doesn't mean you can't see strong straight-line winds. Let me zoom out just a bit, kind of give you a wider perspective here of our local area. And again, this is where your tornado signature is. You see that little the swirl on the front end of that squall line. This is likely a weak developing tornado that has now crossed out of Lamar County. You got heavy rain that stretches back into Vernon, quite a bit of lightning associated with that as well. But your rotational couplet has crossed into Fayette County now. There's the city of Fayette. You got Highway 96 that runs into downtown. If you go north of town, you got 43. This tornado signature is going to cross 43 in about 15 minutes from now. So if you're driving north of Fayette, pull over, find a safe place. If you're in downtown Fayette, you're okay with this potential rotation. But understand another one could spin up before that line gets to you. There is a large area of a severe thunderstorm warning for the chance for damaging straight-line winds as well. So not only is there threat for a possible tornado here, there's also the threat for damaging straight-line winds. So again, this has moved past the city of Vernon and Hotoggy now on Highway 17. You still got some very heavy rain, some strong winds likely still occurring, but the chance for a tornado has done moved to your east. I'm going to do a cone on this and show you where it's heading. Again, there's your rotation right there. Okay. Do a cone off to the northeast to show you where it's heading. Okay. You got areas like Hubbardsville that will be impacted if this circulation holds together. Understand that the tornado warning doesn't go as far as Hubbardsville, but if it holds together, that's where it's heading. And Fowler's Crossroads at about 12:30. In about 40 minutes or so from now, 40 to 50 minutes is going to be in northeast Fayette County. Again, if it holds together, that may not be the case. This tornado could weaken. Hopefully that does happen. Let me show you everybody out there. I'm going to do a home view quickly and show kind of wide perspective because I know a lot of people are asking about other particular storms out there. And Jacob, if you want to do kind of roundup of what we got out there in terms of warnings currently ongoing.
Yeah, Richard. So right now our main warning is a tornado warning for Fayette and Lamar counties. That goes until 12 p.m. And so that is radar indicated rotation for this storm that was near Belk, and now it's moving off to the north of Belk and Fayette at about 45 miles per hour. So Richard Scott was just showing you that rotation. We also have severe thunderstorm warnings for Lamar, Pickens, and Sumter counties. Those are two separate warnings, but both of them are for damaging wind gusts up to 60 miles per hour, and those go until 12:30.
You know, Jacob, it's interesting. We've been talking about, the instability ahead of this system. We've got quite a bit of unstable air ahead of this. You know, you drove in from Starkville earlier this morning, and what was the air mass you kind of felt coming in?
Well, and you were showing the dew points a few minutes ago, and that's what it was. It was very muggy, and the wind was coming out of the south at a pretty good clip. And so that southern moisture that's being pumped in from the Gulf has really elevated the instability and moisture ahead of this line of thunderstorms. And so we've seen some breaks in the clouds over the past hour or two, and that is just helping the instability increase, which is able to fuel some of these spin-up notches in the line as it moves to the east.
Yeah, Jacob, here's a look. This is from Tuscaloosa. Now, clouds have filled back in here in the Tuscaloosa area, but maybe an hour ago the sun was out. And even with the clouds in, Jacob, it's very warm. It's a muggy air mass at 78. And look at the wind south at 15 sustained.
Wow. So really pumping in the Gulf moisture.
It is, Jacob. And here's the dew points we're talking about. We've got a dew point. How about 70 in Jasper?
Wow.
That is incredible. 68 Tuscaloosa. There's a lot of moisture to work with. And if you see the arrows there, that is the wind direction that's either south-southeast. And, when you got a line coming in like this from the northwest and west-northwest, you're basically increasing your convergence. Right. Ahead of that line, the air is basically running into each other, and you're forcing the air to rise. So that's going to continue to help this line basically maintain its intensity as it moves on through. So, again, a pretty powerful line that's coming into West Alabama now.
Yeah, and the good news is, though, we have nothing reported, no wall clouds or tornadoes reported yet, but we're still watching some possible rotation. Now it's just to the north of Fayette in Fayette County for a possible spin-up tornado on the front edge of that storm.
Yeah, hey, I do want to mention, we talked about earlier, Jacob, the Tuscaloosa Regional Air Show was supposed to be happening today and tomorrow, and fortunately, we were very thankful the officials there decided to cancel today because that would have been certainly a potential disaster for the fact that, thousands of people would be in continuing. Yes, potentially thousands of people would be in an area where there's a little shelter, and that would be bad with this line coming in.
Yeah, and you really do not want to be outside with these storms arriving. So if you are in Fayette County now, to the north of Fayette especially, you want to be in your safe place in the interior rooms to get away from, even if there's not a tornado, there could definitely be some significant damaging wind gusts associated with that. And that's why we have a severe thunderstorm warning as well for Pickens County until 12:30.
Pulled up the lightning display, Jacob, on this, and you can see a pretty decent amount of lightning, especially in these stronger storms that are involved here, especially down in Sumter County. You got a lot of lightning up in Lamar and western Fayette County. So, you definitely don't want to be outdoors. These storms come on through. There's a lot of unstable air. There's some cold air loft, and that's going to really help generate some lightning with this. So, good idea. Even if you're not under a warning and these storms are coming in, just go ahead and get to a safe place and inside your home just to let these storms pass on by. And the worst part of this is going to be on the leading edge of this. This isn't a deal where, it's going to be severe weather at your house for, 5 hours. Right. Now, it's going to rain for a while, but the severe part's only going to last, 20 minutes maybe?
Right, yeah. So once this line passes you, then you're basically in the all clear for damaging wind gusts and any tornado threat. And then the threat that will be behind the line will just be some possible localized flooding. So we'll monitor that this evening.
You know, there is something interesting to note on radar on our velocity. Let me show you this real quick, Jacob. And you see this little line that runs across northern Fayette County that goes up to northwest Walker County into Winston. That's actually the rain-cool boundary from the line of storms is up here in northwest Alabama early. You can actually see that on our velocity, a little boundary there. And, you know, I think what's happening is with this line of storms is kind of interacting with this boundary and helping this thing spin up a little bit. So that's something, Jacob, we need to be really watching carefully is how that interacts with this little weak boundary where stable air is north of that, unstable air south of that. Sometimes we see these things really energize along that. So again, that's the latest on that. Again, there's your rotational signature just northwest city of Fayette. It's essentially right on that Highway 107 and Highway 18 interchange. If you're familiar with that in West Fayette County, let me put this into play mode, and I'm going to get back on the wall and show you what we got. Again, here's quickly a wide view. So you see central Alabama currently dry. There's no issues at all ongoing. All the activities over northwest and west Alabama, this will continue to shift off towards the east over the next few hours. So areas like Tuscaloosa and Birmingham down towards Demopolis, you will be impacted by these storms, but it is going to take a little bit longer before the storms formally get to you. Let me go into the northern storm. All right, so the reason we are on air is because we've got a tornado warning for Fayette County alone. Lamar County, you were in that, but no longer is Lamar County in that tornado warning. I'm going to pull on the radar out of Columbus. And again, this thing's really gotten noisy here lately, Jacob. It's kind of not as well defined on the reflectivity as it was just earlier. Let me pull on the velocity and see if that kind of helps us out to identify this thing a little bit better. Because this thing has certainly lost characteristics in terms of radar.
Yeah, there's no longer really a defined notch in that storm.
Yeah, so here we are. We're showing just north of Fayette. And again, there's still some evidence of some winds that are strong outbound winds that are trying to wrap around this thing. But again, if there's still a tornado here, it's going to be on the north side of Fayette. All right, so it's going to cross Highway 43 within a matter of minutes. There's Highway 43. There's 129 there. It has already crossed Highway 107 and 18. There's what's left of your rotational signature. There's downtown Fayette. Now, if you're in downtown Fayette, there's not a tornado warning for you. This is north of the city of Fayette, okay? We got Berry and Bankston that's further to the south in southern Fayette County. You're not under a tornado warning as well. This is all north of you. But again, there's Hubbardsville right there, northern Fayette County. Fowler's Crossroads at the very edge of your screen. That's northeast Fayette County. Again, this activity is going to be basically riding the Highway 129 area up towards Hubbardsville if it holds together. But again, there's your what's left of that rotation. And I'm going to pull on the warning.
Yeah, Richard, I want to chime in.
Okay.
The National Weather Service is kind of agreeing with you on that broad rotation. So the National Weather Service is telling us that they're going to let this tornado warning expire, and they're going to replace it with a severe thunderstorm warning for the rest of Fayette County.
And what time's that warning expires? At 12?
It expires at 12, yes.
Okay, yeah, so 12 o'clock, that warning will expire for Fayette County. Again, the rotation has just really died out on that. But I don't want you to let your guard down because just because there's not much of a rotational signature, we still have the potential for damaging winds. See that orange that just popped up? Right. That's for the potential for damaging wind. So let me put on velocity real quick. And yeah, nothing as impressive as it was earlier. There's still some evidence of stronger winds in here, but in terms of rotational signature, not really that impressive now to the north of Fayette. But I will say this, we are looking at the potential for some damaging winds in here. Again, strong straight line winds can do weak tornado-like damage. So let me go over to Columbus radar. And I'm going to zoom out here. Show a wide perspective of what we got going on in Fayette County, because again, we got a brand new severe thunderstorm warning. And Jacob, what time was that warning till?
This warning goes until 12:45, and it's, again, for those 60-mile-per-hour winds. Okay,
so we got the risk of 60-mile-an-hour winds that's coming across West Fayette County. The tornado signature is pretty much fizzled out. The warning formally expires in about 7 minutes from now for Fayette County. But, again, it is just totally lost a tornado characteristic here with this particular storm. But, again, you see that kind of bowing feature there. There is the chance there could be some 60-mile-an-hour winds. And keep in mind now, if you got large trees around your house, or if you're in a mobile home and you got trees around you, those trees can fall and those can be fatal, so or cause injury. So you got to understand just because we're not talking about a classic tornado signature like we did have, this thing could still drop some trees down. It could cause some problems for you. So make sure if you're ahead of this storm, treat it like a tornado warning. Even though the tornado warning is about to expire, we've got a severe thunderstorm warning. Just go ahead and go inside, kind of go to one of those interior rooms of your house and away from windows, and you'll be okay with this. So again, this isn't a situation where you need to be underground or in a storm shelter. This is more of a situation where if you just kind of go in the interior part of your house and a room away from windows, you're going to be okay with this. But if you're in a mobile home, we still encourage everybody to get out of a mobile home if you're ahead of this line of storms where we have these severe thunderstorm warnings, especially if we have a tornado warning. But if we have a severe thunderstorm warning, understand 60-mile-an-hour winds could cause some damage, especially to a mobile home or car. If you're driving on the highway, you get these strong straight-line winds through here that could cause some problems with falling trees on some of these roads as well. I'm going to go down this line and show you everybody that's being impacted. Now, first off, north of this, we don't have any severe issues occurring in Marion or Winston County to the at least Marion County to the northwest of Hamilton. Now, still got a severe thunderstorm warning for the southeastern portion of Marion County down towards Ewan and Brilliant. There could be some strong straight-line winds in here, and we'll see if this makes it into Winston County as well. But that is certainly a possibility. So let me go down the line here. So again, we got Lamar County, very heavy rain still ongoing in cities like Vernon down towards Millport and Kennedy. There could be some ponding on the roadways, could be some flooding out of that. Again, this stretches off towards the south. We got intense thunderstorms coming between Reform and Gordo on Highway 82, just west of Tuscaloosa and Coker. Again, these are severe. Go down to the south. Again, we got the severe thunderstorm that's coming out of Sumter County, basically riding the Sipsey River. We got a severe thunderstorm warning for Pickens and northern Greene County, okay, for the potential for damaging straight-line winds. It's already crossed Highway 17 to the east of Geiger, but if you're on 17 up to the north of that, you are still under the gun for the risk of damaging straight-line winds with that. Again, that little bowing feature there does have me concerned. That's going to ride northeast in the general direction of Tuscaloosa. Thankfully, officials of the Tuscaloosa Regional Air Show decided to cancel today, which is a wonderful idea because this activity coming through, even if it's not a tornado warning, even if it's a severe thunderstorm warning, that is a threat to life and property if you're exposed to that. So, again, a wonderful idea, making the decision to cancel that for today. It will continue tomorrow, and if you're going tomorrow, the weather's going to be much more improved. It's going to be cooler, but it's going to be improved. Nothing like this. So, again, severe thunderstorm warning there. Let me pan down the line here, okay? Here's the Tombigbee River. Now, if you're in Gainesville down towards Bowlage and Epps near the Tombigbee River, you're going to have some powerful winds coming through with possibly up to 60 miles per hour with this bowing feature. Okay, that's coming across northern Sumter County. When we go down to the south, very heavy rain falling just west of downtown Livingston, York, and Cuba. Heavy rain along the Interstate 2059 corridor. This is coming across Sumter County, and you go further towards the south. This is Meridian, Mississippi, back towards Equipment. Again, this is going to cross into northern Choctaw County. So, Listman, you'll be impacted by strong straight-line winds. Eventually, this is going to cross the Tombigbee River into Marengo County. Let me take you into a home view, and while we do that, Jacob, if there's anything happening on the chat in terms of reports, are you seeing anything coming across?
We have no reports, but I did just want to point out that warning that you were showing in Greene and Pickens, that's new. That's a severe thunderstorm warning, and that is going to go until 1 p.m. And again, it's the same threat, Richard. We have those damaging wind gusts possible up to 60 miles per hour with those bowing portions of the storm as they move to the east.
Yeah, this is moving east a little faster than we originally thought, Jacob. This is this is already into West Alabama. You know, we had originally talked about lunchtime, 1 o'clock before we move into West Alabama. So this line is moving east at a pretty good clip. So we do want you to be on guard earlier, you know, for portions of central Alabama. Looks like the tornado warning has expired for Fayette County. Okay, so we no longer have a tornado warning. We've got several severe thunderstorm warnings in effect. Let me go live to our camera that is in Tuscaloosa. And we're looking off towards the west now. Wow, 79 now. We're inching towards 80 degrees in Tuscaloosa. That is truly incredible. We got a lot of instability that's building out there across Alabama. These storms are going to fuel off of that as they move east across the area. I do want to mention, and again, this is south of our coverage area, but there's also a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for Choctaw County. That's south of Sumter and west of Marengo. So our friends in Marengo County, heads up, there's a severe thunderstorm that is coming towards you as well. It's going to come out of Choctaw County, and this is going to be kind of a county-wide deal where it impacts a lot of people. Okay. Just looking at information here in the Weather Center, we're getting some pictures in from the Gordo area. You know, some dark, ominous clouds as storms come on through. We're just watching everything behind the scenes here, Jacob, and just kind of seeing what we got coming at us, because these storms, while they're kind of in the rural part of West Alabama, are about to impact some major cities here in the next couple of hours. So that is something we need to watch carefully.
Right, yeah, and we're really just keeping our eyes peeled for any type of notch in this line that may start to show some broad rotation. But even if there's no tornado threat if in your county, I think everyone in West Alabama right now has a severe thunderstorm warning in effect. So that goes from Fayette, Pickens, Greene, and Sumter counties are all under a severe thunderstorm warning right now, including Pickens.
Yeah, I'm going to pull up that watch and warning map, Jacob, while you mention that.
And so as this line moves to the east, we were talking about how, there you can see the warnings now from Marion, Fayette, Lamar, Pickens, Greene, and northern Sumter counties. And as these move east, the severe threat will drastically diminish behind this line. So once the front of the thunderstorms pass you, so you'll have some heavy wind and heavy rain for about 15 or 20 minutes, but then your threat basically turns into heavy rain and possibly some localized flooding. But Richard, next we do have Jasper and Tuscaloosa that will be seeing some of these thunderstorms over the next hour or so. We've been talking about how these are actually going a little faster than we anticipated. And I think that's good. That's not able to tap into some afternoon instability that would have been there otherwise. So it is 12:01 right now, and we have no tornado warnings in effect. We had one earlier up in Fayette County that has since expired. So we now have severe thunderstorm warnings for Marion, Lamar, Fayette, Pickens, Greene, and Sumter counties. You can see the line of thunderstorms basically stretching from Hamilton all the way down to Demopolis, and this is all moving off to the east or northeast at about 40 to 50 miles per hour. So also, Richard, just coming in, the National Weather Service is saying that we're watching the storm in northern Greene County. There's some broad rotation, but that's kind of elevated right now. And so we're just continuing to monitor again for some notches possible in these storms. So I may zoom in down to that storm in Greene County. So this is off to the north of Interstate 20. So basically between Gainesville and Aliceville, there you can see there's kind of a notch right there on the county line between Greene and Pickens County, and that's
it's right on the Mississippi River.
Right, and so we're monitoring that. Although it's elevated right now, just some heavy wind, right?
Yeah, and you know what Jacob's talking about, elevated rotation, especially rotation is higher up in the atmosphere.
Right.
You know, we don't see evidence that's down to the ground yet. Chris, if we could take the weather iPad just for a moment, I want to show what we got. This is what it looks like over in Pickens County. This is Melissa McAteer. She's one of our weather checkers. She was reporting to us some pictures here, and again, this is over her house in Gordo. That's in Pickens County. That's on Highway 82, very close to Highway 82. You can see the dark, ominous clouds. They come on in. Gordo's likely got some pretty heavy rainfall. We'll be interested to get information from Melissa at what's happening at her house over there to kind of get an idea of what's going to happen to people upstream, basically with that particular storm. And again, that is a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for that. So just kind of heads up what it's looking like in Gordo as these storms come on through. Let's hop back over to radar, Chris, and show you kind of what's happening. And again, this is the storms that were impacting Gordo. See how they're coming into town out of Reform now. The Zion area going to be impacted by some strong, damaging straight-line winds. And I'm going to pull up the velocity and see what we got. And again, we're watching this line here. There's some evidence here there of some strong winds with this, but I do not see any strong evidence of rotation anywhere within this line, which is fantastic. Hopefully that trend will continue. And I'm going to pull on the storm reports, and this is over the past 24 hours, just kind of see what this thing's had a history of. And Jacob, this is really interesting.
Yeah.
Look at all the damage back in Mississippi, Louisiana, Arkansas. They've had, okay.
Yeah, so the damaging wind gust is the primary threat. But I think
we're about to get a tornado warning.
Yeah, we do have a new tornado threat now for Greene and Pickens County.
We were just talking about that. So let me go over to Birmingham's radar, and we're going to have a tornado warning that is to the southwest of Tuscaloosa. Okay, there's a tornado warning polygon just popped up. This is going to include Gordo. So a heads up for Gordo if you're in that area, including a reform areas to the southeast of that down the Mississippi River. There's a tornado warning for you. So again, that is the latest on that. And Jacob, if you want to mention the information on that tornado warning, I'm going to get back on the wall.
Okay, yeah, so this tornado warning is for Greene and Pickens County. You can see it on your screen right now, and it is moving to the northeast at 50 miles per hour. And we have radar indicated rotation. This is the notch we've been watching over the past 10 minutes or so. And this is just to the south of Aliceville, and it is moving off to the northeast at 50 miles per hour. So a tornado warning goes until 12:30 for Greene and Pickens County, Richard.
Okay, Jacob, here's the line we're talking about. And there's some kinks in this line that are beginning to rotate some as they tap into some of that instability over our local area. And let me take you into that storm that is rotating. Again, this is to the southwest of Tuscaloosa. Does not include the city of Tuscaloosa yet, but understand this storm will be impacting Tuscaloosa County if it holds together. Again, this is the area we're talking about in terms of rotation right here. That's going to be basically following the Mississippi River. There's Pioneer Community. You're in the path of this, Moores Grove, okay? Anybody really from about 5 miles south of the Mississippi River to several miles north of the Mississippi River. Let me pull on the warning, and you can see that a little better here on the screen. And again, there's the polygon. Now, it formally includes everybody north of West Greene. The red is the tornado warning polygon. There's Highway 14 that runs out of Clinton, Alabama. Okay, and you go down to the south, you got Utah. There's Aliceville. Now, this tornado warning is south of Aliceville. You got some nasty weather coming through town now, but understand the tornado threat is down here south of you. Okay, there's the Olney community. Okay, there's Pioneer. Okay, you go to the north of that, you run into places like Gordo, and let me take you into that. Again, let me zoom you in just a little bit. I'm going to pan you to the north, show you who all's in that tornado warning polygon. There's Tuscaloosa County right there. Formerly Tuscaloosa County is not under tornado warning at the moment. Okay, this is going to cross Highway 86. It runs to the east of Carrollton, okay? There's downtown Carrollton. You're not under a tornado warning. It's going to be just east of town. Okay, Gordo, you're going to be in the direct path of this. And if it continues, it's going to move up here into northwest Tuscaloosa County within about 30 minutes from now. So there's the Kirk Community, Pioneer, okay, Benevola down here, the Gina community down here. Okay, this is to the west of Buell and Romulus, but we could see a warning extended into Tuscaloosa County if this potential tornado does continue. And the rotation does continue as well. So again, there's the Mississippi River right there that it runs into West Tuscaloosa County. Tombigbee River runs back here, back towards Pickensville, and down to the south, down towards Gainesville. That's the Tombigbee River right there, where that interchange is. The tornado is just south of that. The potential for a tornado is there. Let me pull on the velocity. And I believe this is going to be out of Columbus. And again, there's your rotational signature right there, Jacob. Looks like it's crossing a Highway 14, and a potential for a tornado is there. Okay, so Moores Grove, that's where we're talking about for the tornado that's going to be tracking your way. So again, there's the possible tornado there. It is moving off towards the northeast. We see our computer algorithms tripping the mesocyclone. The circulation's here now. It was there last update. Now it's right here. Moores Grove, you're in the direct path of this. Benevola, you need to be in a safe place now. So what you need to do, if you're in a mobile home, if you're in a car, you need to get out of that, find a site-built structure or a storm shelter. We don't want you driving along Highway 14. The potential tornado is crossing Highway 14 now. Basically, it's going to ride the Mississippi River for a while. Aliceville, you're okay, but you got some heavy rain and lightning there, but your tornado is going to be right in here, tracking off towards the northeast. Now, just to look, I'm going to pull up the debris signature, and I do not see anything that stands out here. That's good. We'll pull on the velocity display. And again, your rotation is right in here, okay? You see your bright shades of green and red. That's where your signature is. Again, moving northeast. Melrose Grove, that is in the direct path of a potential for a tornado that is moving into or moving through northern Greene County and southern portions of Pickens County as well. And any reports, Jacob, coming from this from the Weather Service?
We don't have any official reports from the ground, but definitely a rather tight couplet. I think this is a little more defined than our previous tornado warning. You can just see the bright green gust there just to the south of Morris Grove.
Yeah, no doubt there's stronger evidence of rotation here. And again, this is right there on the Sipsey River. If you're just to the west of Mantua, that's what we're looking at. So again, Mantua, you need to be in a safe place. Morris Grove, the Gina community, Benevola, Pioneer, Olney, that's where we're looking at. For the potential for a tornado there. Let me pull on the Columbus radar.
Yeah, that's the National Weather Service said the Columbus radar is really being able to pick up that rotation well.
Yeah, and the deal is with the radar sites, the Columbus radar is closer than the Shelby County radar, so the deal is we're scanning lower into the storm and we're able to see a more definition of where the rotation is by using Columbus radar. And again, this is moving off towards the northeast. I'll tell you what, I'm going to do a path on this. And what was the speed on that, Jacob?
50 miles per hour to the northeast. So
let's see.
It's moving pretty quickly.
Yeah, I'm going to have to zoom out just a little bit on this so I can get a better track on this, because this thing is, again, quickly moving northeast. And again, if you're just now joining us, 10 minutes after 12, I'm Chief Meteorologist Richard Scott. We've got Jacob Lanier in the Weather Center. We continue to watch this situation where we have a tornado warning in effect for one of our counties or a couple of our counties in West Alabama for a single thunderstorm that is capable of producing a tornado moving northeast just like that. And here are the arrival times on your screen. Let me clear that off. Okay, so we got the Lewiston community at 12:17, Olney at 12:25, Kirk at 12:40, Gordo at 12:47, Ecola at 12:54, and Moores Bridge, that's in Tuscaloosa County, at 1 p.m. if that rotation holds together. Again, it's moving northeast at 50 miles per hour. So again, that is the latest on that particular storm. Let me go over to our camera here in Tuscaloosa. I want to look, and I know this is going to be a long way off, but we're going to look in the direction of this thunderstorm. Again, we are looking west. This is from Bryant-Denny Stadium, and you see how dark the clouds are off to the west of Tuscaloosa, and there's a lot of moisture in the atmosphere, and these storms are going to have a lot of rain with them as they come in. So not only is there a chance for a tornado here, there's also a chance for damaging straight-line winds and flash flooding. So as these storms come in, they're going to pack a punch as they do move off towards the northeast at about 50 miles per hour. Again, that particular storm that's severe is to the west of Tuscaloosa, that is tornadic, and will continue to move off towards the northeast. Officially, the warning does not include Tuscaloosa County, but we may see that extended into Tuscaloosa County here a little bit later on. This now afternoon, on this Saturday afternoon. It's just after 12 o'clock now. I do want to mention information online on Facebook, Twitter, and our weather blog. If you go over to WVUA23.com, if you click on the weather tab, there's a live severe weather stream option. We're also on Facebook Live right now as well. So just some other sources of information for you as we do monitor these storms moving on through.
Yeah, and so we still have no reports in right now, but with just a tight couplet now between Aliceville and Union over there in northern Greene, moving into Pickens County now. It's kind of on the county line almost.
Yes, really right on the Sipsey River. I'm going to pull up the Columbus radar. Birmingham's just a little far off for this. And again, the area of rotation is right over Morris Grove, okay? You see the Sipsey River there in the center of your screen. Pioneer, you're going to be in the direct path of this. And really areas around that, down towards Snooty and Knoxville, Clinton, Alabama, you're going to have some strong straight-line winds, possibly up to 60 miles per hour. So not only is there a chance for a tornado here, there's also a chance for damaging straight-line winds. So I'll tell you what, I'm going to hop back on the wall and show you a radar tour quickly because I know there's a lot of people asking about different parts of the state. Now, for areas to the east of Tuscaloosa, there's currently no issues of severe weather ongoing. We do have a tornado watch in effect for all of west and much of central Alabama until 7 o'clock this evening. Now, along this line, we got several areas of rotation that have developed, and the National Weather Service, in response to that, has triggered a couple of tornado warnings so far today. And our current tornado warning ongoing is down here in southern Pickens County, eastern Pickens County, northern Greene County. Let me take you back into that storm and show you what we got because that's where we are concerned about a chance for a tornado that could be developing. Okay, it's in this area right here, and I know this isn't your classic supercell type of structure. This is a line of thunderstorms that is mainly capable of producing some damaging winds, but along that line there's some spin-ups that have developed based off the wind shear and based off the instability in the environment. There could even be some small hail, possibly up to quarter-size hail here just south of the Olney community and just to the west of Pioneer, really right on the Mississippi River. So Morrow's Grove, okay. This is north of Highway 14. Highway 14 runs down to Utah, runs back up to the northeast to Aliceville, and back down towards Pickensville. That's Highway 14 right there. The tornado signature has crossed northeast of that highway. Now, still some pretty heavy rain falling there, and we'll likely have some ponding on the highway. 17, also pretty rough go, but again, the tornado signature is now east of 17 and northeast of Highway 14. And again, southern Pickens County and extreme northern Greene County, tracking northeast just like that. I'm going to put on the warning display, and you can see the tornado warning polygon. Understand your rotation sitting right there now. You see the warning extends back to the southwest. That's when it was originally issued. Now the tornado circulation is right here on the Mississippi River. There's Gordo at the very top of your screen. That's Highway 82, okay? So if this rotation holds together, eventually this will cross Highway 82 somewhere close to the city of Gordo, or maybe just to the east of town. In fact, I'd say if you're in Coker, in West Tuscaloosa County, points to the west, down Highway 82. I would stop for a while if you're traveling to Mississippi or traveling out of Mississippi to Alabama. I would stop for a while, let these storms pass on by. Highway 82 is a very busy highway this time of the year. Okay, so if you are on 82, if you're west of Coker, really, I'd say that would be a good line there. I would pull over for a while, let the storm cross the highway, because this is a storm that means business, has potential to produce a tornado. Let me go over to the velocity product, and again, you still see evidence of rotation here on the Mississippi River. I will say this, Jacob, it's not as impressive as it was a little bit earlier. A little more ragged, looks like the rotation there.
Yeah, it looks like some really small, loft circulation points along this line. And so I think that there's just a few kind of weird notches in there in that warning between Union and Carrollton over there.
Yeah, these things, any of these little notches on this line could easily develop and produce a tornado. And the Weather Service, they're going to continue that tornado warning, Jacob, looks like until 12:30 for Greene and Pickens.
And they said it's slowed down now to 35 miles per hour, so it's moving a little slower off to the northeast.
That's really interesting, the storm slowed down like that, because it was moving, at 50 miles per hour.
Yes.
So, wow. So it has really slowed down in speed as it does track off towards the northeast. I want to pull on the lightning display, and there has been an uptick in lightning. The updraft of the storm has become a little stronger, and I guess it's able to tap into some of that wind shear and begin to rotate some. But again, we are looking at quite a bit of lightning with this as well. If you are if you're in Tuscaloosa or just west of Tuscaloosa, you can probably hear the thunder.
Right. Yeah, you can't see it on our tower cam yet, looking to the west, but it's just really dark over there, and I think.
Let me pull up the camera, and I'll show you that, Jacob, as we watch this storm. Again, we're too far away to see anything, any structure yet, but again, that could change at any time. We could, be able to see, identify structures here pretty soon. This thing's going to track northeast of Tuscaloosa. So, northwest of Tuscaloosa. So, I mean, there's a chance we could be able to see, maybe a wall cloud or lowering or some sort of structure with this. But right now, it's simply too far away from our camera to be able to see that. And, to go back to 2011, we had a tornado that hit Tuscaloosa back in 2011, the April 27th event. And we could see that tornado as far west as the community of Gina.
Wow.
That's in, right on the county line of Pickens, Greene, and Tuscaloosa, right there on the Mississippi River. And that thing was about 20 miles away from Tuscaloosa. Wow. With the moisture we have today, I don't think we're going to be able to see anything as identified as that far away. I don't expect a tornado like that. Let me be honest. I don't expect a tornado, that particularly strong, but it's going to be wrapped up in rain. We're not going to be able to see it anyway, but we're just looking live. And again, this is off towards the west.
And look at the temperature, Richard. We're at 79, and the dew point is at 68 degrees.
Wow.
So just really humid, moist, and unstable environment that this storm is moving into. As it moves now continuing north into Pickens County. And good news just from the National Weather Service, they said they're going to let this tornado warning expire at 12:30. That's its scheduled time. It was going to go until 12:30. And so we're just monitoring to be sure the rotation doesn't tighten at all in the next 15 minutes or so.
Okay, I just talked to my sister, Tracy Mitchell. She's from Meridian, and they are mentioning some damage in Meridian. Now, these are the same storms that came through there that are in West Alabama now. And I'm going to pull up the Jackson chat room, Jacob, and kind of see what's happening over there to kind of give us an idea of what could happen downstream. Are you going to pull that up on your end? Or?
Well, yeah, I was going to see if I can find any damage from Meridian. Yeah, can we pull up the computer?
Is that in Meridian?
Yes, this is in Meridian.
Wow.
So that is...
My goodness, that's tornado damage.
Yeah, I think so, and that's where we had a tornado warning down there, I'd say about 30 minutes to an hour ago.
Wow.
So this is in Meridian, Mississippi, and
that's incredible. That's a tornado there.
But this is almost the same storm that moved up into Sumter and Greene County, and I think it's kind of that general system that is now moving into Pickens County.
Yeah, so this is what you're looking at is tornado damage. This is in Meridian, Mississippi. Okay. This is, Jacob, you have an idea of the exact location of that?
I don't have the exact location. This is just from Twitter. But they're saying damage in Meridian, and this was posted about 10 minutes ago. So we have the same system has kind of moved into northern Greene and southern Pickens County, and we continue to watch that tornado warning for the next 10 minutes or so as this storm moves off to the northeast at about 35 to 40 miles per hour. Yeah, so again, this is damage that we could potentially see in Alabama. So just a heads up, these storms that are coming into West Alabama, they have had a history of producing damage. And Jacob, that looks like a possibly EF1 type of tornado damage. It looks like the entire roof of that apartment's ripped off there. And that looks like a pretty stable two-story structure as well. That's a stable structure. When you see an entire roof that's ripped off a structure like that, typically when you look at tornado damage, it's usually equivalent to like an EF1 type of tornado. So, again, if you're in a mobile home, now keep in mind a mobile home cannot even withstand an EF1. It's just obliterated in a weak tornado. So that's why we want you out of a mobile home if you're in one. Let me go back over to radar now. Yeah, that's why we're saying in eastern Pickens County you need to be in a safe place, and definitely not in a mobile home. If you're in eastern Pickens County, you need to be in a storm shelter, because if there's not a spin-up tornado, there's definitely going to be damaging winds. Yeah, and damaging winds can do some, quite a bit of structural damage as well, with falling tree potential with that as well. And I'm looking and some other stuff here in the Weather Center, Jacob, if you want to mention. Yeah, and so just to clarify, those apartments that we were just looking at are Reese Court Apartments. Okay. That's in Meridian. Do you know what part of Meridian that's in? Or I don't know the exact location. Although. Okay. All right, thanks, Chris. Yeah, if you guys will keep an eye on that. All right, so we got, again, a damaging line of storms that's coming across West Alabama now, and there's potential for a tornado with this particular storm that's basically straddling the Mississippi River. This is in far eastern Pickens County, extreme northern portions of Greene County. The National Weather Service is going to allow the tornado warning to expire at 12:30, but understand there is the potential there for
Tornado,
Right.
and also damaging straight line winds, Jacob.
Right. So, Richard, we have a brand new severe thunderstorm warning for Tuscaloosa County.
Okay.
This is going to go for an hour and 15 minutes. This is going until 1:45 p.m. So, Tuscaloosa County, we have the potential for 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts.
Just about the entire county.
Yeah.
And keep in mind, at this time, the Tuscaloosa Regional Air Show would be ongoing. So, we got 60-mile-an-hour winds that's going to come over the Tuscaloosa Regional Airport. Thankfully, the officials there decided to cancel today. That was potentially a life-saving move to cancel thousands of people being in this outdoor area with limited shelter. So it was a good idea that was canceled today, because that would potentially be a disaster as this damaging line of storms with 60-mile-an-hour winds comes right up towards the Tuscaloosa Northport area. But again, just about all of Tuscaloosa County is under a severe thunderstorm warning with the chance for damaging winds of 60 miles per hour. Technically, this is everybody to the northwest of Duncanville. So the very southeastern sliver of Tuscaloosa County is not under a severe thunderstorm warning. It's everybody to the northwest of that. That does include pretty much the entire county. The tornado warning is going to be allowed to expire with this storm, but understand there could be another one spin up at any time. So just because the warning is expiring does not mean you need to let your guard down. I'm going to pull on the warnings and show you what we've got. So again, there's your original tornado warning in Pickens County, northern Greene County. Again, that is going to expire in 5 minutes. Okay, but if you are anywhere from Fayette down to Samantha, down Highway 43 to Northport, Tuscaloosa, all the way down to Shelton, the Taylorville area, keep in mind we've got the chance for damaging winds of 60 miles per hour. This entire area is the same thing, or part of the same storm that produced a tornado in Meridian just a little bit earlier. About maybe an hour ago, a tornado came through the Meridian area, did quite a bit of damage with that. There are some pictures and video online circulating from that as well, so we'll have to check that here in a minute, just give you an idea of what could happen upstream, because that's what's in West Alabama now, is the chance for damaging winds and perhaps a few isolated tornadoes with this line of storm. So let me pull back on the radar. I'm going to pull up Columbus radar. And there you go. There's your line of severe thunderstorms that's stretching from Fayette down towards northwest Tuscaloosa County on 171. This is to the west of Samantha. This stretches down to East Pickens County, Gordo, down towards the Utah area in northern Greene County. Again, we want you to treat this like a tornado warning, because there's a chance for falling trees and some issues with that, with strong winds of 60 miles per hour. Let me take you to the north, and I'm going to show you everybody that's being impacted by the storms now, kind of give you a radar tour quickly, because we do have some intense thunderstorms. Again, there's a strong thunderstorm. And Jacob, I don't believe this one in Winston is severe, correct?
I don't know. There's no severe thunderstorm in Winston, just for Fayette.
Yeah, so, I mean, there's still an intense thunderstorm that's coming up on Haydenville now, so I would certainly head on indoors and let the storm pass by. There could be some strong winds with that coming through the Lynn community. Also, areas like Double Springs will be impacted by that, and that's going to be over the next few minutes. Really over the next 30 minutes, Winston County will be hit by some pretty strong winds, some very heavy rainfall with that as well. Let me pan down this line to the severe part. And again, this down here in Fayette County is severe. We've got very heavy rain, strong damaging winds coming through areas like Hubbardsville now, northeast Fayette County. Okay, there's the Studders Crossroads there on Highway 102 that runs over towards the Townley community in Walker County. So heads up for Walker County. We'll likely see some strong winds with that as well. Let's go down to the south. There's the city of Fayette. Okay, you follow that highway all the way to Berry. That's where we're talking about some strong damaging wind potential as well. This goes all the way down to the Newtonville community, New Lexington, and northern Tuscaloosa County. That's on 43. We got the Sandtown community. We got Whitson there. That's on Highway 69. Again, you're going to be impacted by strong damaging straight line winds. The potential for falling trees and power lines and things in that nature is possible with this line of storms. Now, here's Moore's Bridge on 171. Again, strong winds coming through. There's Lake Tuscaloosa there. Lake Tuscaloosa Dam sits right there. North River comes into the lake right here in Samantha. All of you are going to be impacted by some strong winds within about 20 minutes to 30 minutes from now as this activity all continues to move through. Okay, for the city of Tuscaloosa, we got another little kink in this line we need to carefully watch. It's down here on the Sipsey River. There is the Tuscaloosa Pickens County line. Tuscaloosa-Greene County line. The Mississippi River separates Greene County and Pickens County. Again, in this zone, we're going to have some pretty strong winds that coming up through Romulus, Foster's, Taylorville, Tuscaloosa, Northport, and Coker. So again, if you are in west or central Tuscaloosa County, that's where some strong, potentially damaging straight line winds are coming through. This does stretch back into Greene County. There's the city of Utah. Okay, we've got some strong winds heading your way as well. Let's go down to the south. There's Sumter County, Interstate 2059, Highway 11 that runs through the Epps area. Down to the south, there's downtown Livingston, the University of West Alabama campus, strong damaging straight line winds in that area. Go down to the south, we got York, Cuba. There's Highway 80, runs over to Marengo County. There's the Tombigbee River there. Okay, the city of Demopolis sits there. Again, we could have some strong damaging straight line winds heading your way as well. We're looking at winds of 60 miles an hour with this. And even down to the south, okay, this is Choctaw County. Technically, this is south of our coverage area. I know a lot of people there. I was born and raised in Marengo County. Got family and friends down here. So heads up if you're watching us online in Choctaw County. There's Listman there. There's the city of Butler, okay. Highway 17 runs down to Butler. That's where we got some strong damaging winds coming through as well. Again, we're looking at winds of 60 miles an hour, and this is going to cross the Tombigbee River, okay? The Rock 10 plant sits right here on the Tombigbee River on Highway 80, where Highway 28 comes up through Pinhook, up to northwest Marengo County, runs down the city of Linden. Again, strong damaging straight line winds heading towards Myrtlewood, Half Acre, Linden, Octagon, Dayton, areas like that. So again, just a heads up, just want to show you everybody along this line of storms what's coming at you. Strong damaging, potentially straight line winds with this. Here's the watch warning map. And again, we got Jacob Lanier in the Weather Center. We've got a lot of folks here in the Weather Center now. We've got Matt Breland, Danielle Davis, quite a crew here. We are continuing to watch the situation here in Alabama. And Jacob, since you're mic'd up, if you want to mention the warnings we got currently ongoing.
Yeah, Richard. So it is now 12:31, which means the tornado warning for Greene and Pickens County has been expired. So we currently have no tornado warnings across west central Alabama. We do have severe thunderstorm warnings for Fayette, Pickens, Tuscaloosa, and northern Greene counties. And for Tuscaloosa, we have that severe thunderstorm warning until 1:45. So for the next hour and 15 minutes, we're going to be watching this storm as it moves off to the northeast, bring the potential for 60 mile per hour winds, and that is moving at 40 miles per hour to the northeast. So we will see those gusts come in. But Richard, like we've been saying, once this line of storms passes your home, then the severe weather threat will decrease rapidly, and it will just turn into a stratiform rain event for the rest of the day. So again, you're looking right now at the watch and warning map. I'm going to toggle back over here to the radar so you can see what's happening. We have a line of thunderstorms now from Hamilton and up there near Haleyville, and that is draping all the way back into southern Sumter County, and this is all moving off to the northeast at about 40 miles per hour. So Tuscaloosa and Jasper, Demopolis, we're going to be seeing heavy rain and gusty, damaging winds, possibly up to 60 miles per hour over the next 30 to 45 minutes as this line of thunderstorms does move through. I'm going to zoom now into the thunderstorm warning for Tuscaloosa County. This is going until 1:45 p.m. and you can see now we're tracking the heaviest rain is now right along the county line between Tuscaloosa and Pickens County. I think the heaviest rain right now is up Alabama 171 off to the northwest of the city of Tuscaloosa and Northport. And right now, here in Tuscaloosa, it is dry. We're not seeing any rain. But I'm going to go over to our camera. We're looking west.
Hey, Jacob,
now.
if you want to pull up the, if you want to pull up this right here.
Okay.
And this is in Meridian a little bit earlier, and this is potentially the tornado that came through Meridian. See if I can press play on this. And again, this is what we saw the damage from the city of Meridian. This came through Sumter County as well. We haven't had any damage reports out of Sumter County out of this. Let me see if I can replay this video here. Again, this is in Meridian. This is close to Bonita Lakes Mall, the downtown Meridian area. Looks like the damage was just potentially on the north side of town as well. But again, that's what was possibly a tornado damage with that. And Jacob, if you want to pull over the radar, and I'm going to pull this video back up in the Weather Center here and see if we can get that. But again, go ahead with that storm in Tuscaloosa.
Yeah, we're just monitoring the severe thunderstorm warning for Tuscaloosa County. And Richard, I want to say we have a brand new tornado warning for Walker and Winston counties.
Okay.
So I'm going to scooch our radar on up to that. We were watching this storm, so you can see the polygon right there. The storm looks to be between Nauvoo and Carbon Hill, moving off to the northeast at about 35 miles per hour. So we have some radar indicated rotation with this storm and a tornado warning now for Walker and Winston counties until 1:15.
Okay, so we got a brand new tornado warning, and while we've got that, I do want to quickly show this. This is what came through Meridian. A little bit earlier, we had a tornado that developed. This looks like a fairly weak tornado based off of this, but we did have a tornado that touched down in Meridian and caused some damage. Yeah, it did cause some considerable damage, maybe EF1 type of damage with that. But again, we do have a brand new tornado warning, so let's go into that storm. And again, that's for Walker
and Winston counties.
And Winston County.
Until 1:15.
Okay, 1:15, so we got a brand new tornado warning in effect for that. Again, this is up here in northwest Alabama. Understand we've got a line of severe storms that drapes all the way down to the Gulf Coast through Choctaw County, Sumter, Greene, West Tuscaloosa. We got Fayette, Western Walker, Eastern Marion, and Western Winston County. That's where we got some severe storms coming through. So let me take into that storm we got a tornado warning for. And this is extreme northwest Walker County. If you're in the city of Jasper now, you're not under a tornado warning. This is all to the northwest of you, areas like Kansas, Nauvoo, Carbon Hill. Okay, that's where your tornado circulation is going to be there. Keith Dobbins, who is a photog with us, works here at the TV station. He's actually from this area, so hopefully he's in a safe place now and can report any damage to us if that does indeed happen. We go over to the velocity display. There's your rotation right there. Let me zoom into that and show you where this thing is heading. We'll pull this thing back up on the map for you. Okay. So there's your rotation. This is now to the north of Kansas, okay? Kansas in northwest Walker County. There's Nauvoo. There's your potential tornado right there. You see your bright green and your bright red. That's your couplet. That's where winds are rotating. That's where air is circulating around a mesocyclone within a thunderstorm. And this is on the leading edge of the squall line. Again, this is all to the east of Marion County. You and back towards Brilliant, you're not in this. Now, even the Eldridge community, you're not in this. This is all to the northeast of you. Carbon Hill, the tornado circulation is now to the northeast, moving northeast again. There is the Saragossa community, downtown Jasper, the new Interstate 22 corridor, the new I-22 corridor runs from Hamilton to Jasper to Birmingham. Again, this is now crossed that I-22 corridor, but if you're on any of these roads up here, okay, like Highway 195 right here in northern Walker County and southern portion of Winston County, we want you to pull over now, find a safe place. We don't want you in a car. Got to get out of a mobile home. That's not a place to be. If you're in a mobile home, you got to get out of that. Understand, you saw the tornado in Meridian. That type of tornado could completely destroy a mobile home. So you got to get out of that. That can toss cars off of a highway. It can be fatal if you are in a mobile home or in a car. So again, keep that in mind if you're in northern Walker County and southern portions of Winston County. Let me pan off to the north just a little bit and show you where we're looking at. Again, other areas in the path of this, okay? We got Curtis Crossroads right there on 195, okay? There's Highway 278 that runs back to Natural Bridge in Winston County. There's Natural Bridge. There's the Winston-Marion County line there. The circulation is going to be coming out of Walker County into southern portions of Winston County. Let me show you the warning and who's on this warning. And again, this is extreme southern portions of Winston County and northern Walker County. Again, this is all north of Saragossa, north of the Sunlight community. Okay, Smith Lake is over here. And if this thing holds together, it's going to cross Smith Lake in about 30 minutes to an hour. So heads up for you on Smith Lake. If you're up that way, If you're north of Curry, this thing could be approaching you in the next 30 minutes to an hour or so from now. Again, there's Highway 195. We've got Highway 5 right here. The circulation is cross I-22. It's going to cross 5, then 195, and then it moves completely into southern portions of Winston County. Again, that's your tornado warning there. Jacob, any reports coming from the Weather Service?
We have no reports. Actually, the National Weather Service in Birmingham, the good news is so far no damage reports, whether that be wind or tornado reports. So right now you're looking at the tornado warning polygon in Walker and Winston counties. So this warning goes until 1:15, and this storm is radar indicated rotation and moving off to the northeast at about 35 miles per hour. So, Richard, you were saying along this I-22 corridor, and especially off to the north, you need to be in your safe place and get off the road. So get off of Alabama 195 in between Carbon Hill, Prospect, and going up in this area north of 22.
Yeah, let's pull on the velocity display here, and we still got evidence of rotation. You see your green and red coupled there. That is still evidence of rotation, again, with that particular storm. Let me go to the south and just kind of check things out. I don't see anything that really jumps out down this line, so that's good. You know, we got some little notches down here in West Tuscaloosa County, which is kind of interesting. We'll need to watch those
very carefully
for any sort of organization. Let me pull up the Birmingham radar. And I do want to mention, by the way, Tuscaloosa County, all of Tuscaloosa County is in a severe thunderstorm warning. Now, that is not a tornado warning, but we got the chance for damaging straight line winds as well. Let me pull on the camera in Tuscaloosa. And again, what you're looking at is live from Tuscaloosa. What is that?
That's a storm chaser who's saying that he's looking at that storm up on I-22. So I'm going to see if I can pull up his stream.
Yeah, and again, what we're looking at is live from Tuscaloosa. We've got a damaging straight line wind risk for the city of Tuscaloosa. Currently, we don't have a tornado warning, but understand that could change at any time. So that is something we need to carefully watch. And again, this is on I-22. We got some storm spotters out there, and internet connectivity is kind of rough. So we'll see. Yeah. That may kind of come and go, but that's what we're looking at there. And again, he is reporting some strong winds as well.
Right,
in the rear flank.
So he's on I-22, moving off to the east-southeast. And so he's just looking onto the backside of that tornado-warned storm in northern Walker County right now.
Okay, and also, it's a note from Storm Prediction Center. They're just making an update on the watch. So we're looking at I-22, and again, this is in, I believe, Walker County.
Yes.
Okay, so he's in northwest Walker County. You see some pretty heavy rain falling there. I don't see evidence of a tornado based off his camera view, but we're going to keep an eye on that stream and kind of see if we do have anything that does pop up with that storm. But again, that's the latest on that. We've got one tornado warning in our entire coverage area, and that is for, again, extreme northern Walker County. That's just north of Carbon Hill now, and that does include southern Winston County. Okay, so we now have a tornado warning for Tuscaloosa County.
Just like you were pointing out, Richard, we are looking at rotation just to the south of 82, due west of Tuscaloosa, and that is now rotation and a radar indicated tornado.
This does include the city of Tuscaloosa.
Yes.
It includes Northport for the potential for a tornado. And that is now for the city of Tuscaloosa, okay?
Yeah,
Cloaker, Northport, you need to be in a safe place. Lake Tuscaloosa, you need to be in a safe place as well. I'll tell you what, I'm going to pull on our camera here.
And so this is a tornado warning for Tuscaloosa County and includes the cities of Tuscaloosa and Northport, and it goes until 1:15 p.m. So this storm is moving to the east-northeast at 35 miles per hour, and it was about 10 miles to the southeast of Gordo and now moving towards Coker, Northport over the next 15 to 20 minutes, Richard.
All right, so again, if you're watching us in Tuscaloosa, my goodness, thank goodness they canceled the air show today.
Yeah, wow.
That would have been bad. So we got a tornado warning in effect. So I do want to mention the Tuscaloosa Regional Air Show had been canceled for today. Thank goodness. That would be a potential disaster. The Tuscaloosa Airport is literally in the direct path of a potential tornado.
Right.
Let me go over to our camera in Tuscaloosa. and show you what we got coming at us. Again, this is a live look from Bryant-Denny Stadium. This is in Tuscaloosa, and we are, yeah, that's some excellent rotation there.
Especially from the Columbus radar, you can see there's really, really tight rotation. And
wow.
They're saying it's I mean, multiple scans they're saying, and this is directly towards Coker.
Yeah,
within the next
if you
5
were in
minutes.
Coker, if you were in Northport, if you are on Lake Tuscaloosa, there is a potential damaging tornado that is heading your way now. You need to be in a safe place. Again, if you are in Tuscaloosa, really from downtown Tuscaloosa up northward towards the lake, you need to be in a safe place. This is a very dangerous situation for the potential for a damaging tornado. And you hear the UA, University of Alabama, has an alert system. I don't know if you can hear that in the microphone or not, but they're telling us there's a tornado warning. But hey, guess what? We already know.
Yeah.
But Jacob, if you want to have any information on that tornado real quick.
So the National Weather Service is saying that there's very good rotation, and this is about 5 minutes away from Coker, just to the north of Romulus. And so you can see the polygon does include Tuscaloosa, Northport, and Coker. And so along US 82, you do not need to be driving right now. You need to be in a safe place. If you are in Coker, along Interstate 82 from Holman up until Northport. And Northport, this storm will be in your area in about 10 minutes. So I'm going to see if I can turn on the velocity mode and show you we have some pretty tight rotation coming from the Columbus. You can see there it is. Wow. And so
look at that. This is coming up on Highway 82. Again, this is approaching the Coker area. This is going to cross Highway 171. This is going to cross Highway 43. Again, if you're up on Rose Boulevard, if you're on Tierce Patton Road, a heads up for you, these areas will be directly impacted by a potential tornado. The rotation has really increased in intensity. And here in the background, I'm kind of looking from our camera in Tuscaloosa and seeing if we have any if we can have a visual on this potential tornado. More than likely, it's going to be rain-wrapped. And again, I'm going to pull on our camera in Tuscaloosa just for a moment. And again, this is a very dangerous situation now for the northern portion of the city of Tuscaloosa, really from downtown Tuscaloosa across the river and into the Northport area. Currently, I cannot see any screaming indication of a tornado here based off of our camera that's located on top of Bryant-Denny Stadium. But again, that doesn't mean there's not a tornado there, because we're certainly seeing excellent rotation on our radar. And again, we're just going to keep an eye on that carefully. So let me go back over to radar and show you what we got. Tell you what, I'm going to hop back on the wall. And again, Jacob, if you get any reports of damage, if you want to mention that to me pretty quick. Right now, we don't have any confirmation of damage, but I can tell you based off the signature, there's an excellent rotational signature that's coming up on Tuscaloosa and Northport now. Okay?
Absolutely.
And this is going to impact Coker directly. Let me pull on the velocity display, because the velocity couplet was incredible on that just a couple of minutes ago.
I think it's gotten even tighter, Richard, from the Columbus radar.
Okay, let me pull up Columbus. There it is there. There's your potential tornado that's about to cross Highway 82 just to the east of Holloman, okay? If you're in Coker, if you're in downtown Northport, your tornado signature is coming up just like that. Again, this is going to cross more than likely 171 close to where Rose Boulevard crosses the interchange there. All right, Highway 43. You go up to the Lakeland area. You go up towards Tierce Patton. That's where this tornado is going to cross. Really run right along the highway there and cross 69, somewhere close to the Yellow Creek interchange of 69. Up there just east and northeast of Lake Tuscaloosa. There's Holt Lake right there in the Black Warrior River. Here's downtown Tuscaloosa, downtown Northport. There's your tornado signature there. And we need to watch to the south of that. And guys in the Weather Center, if y'all want to keep a careful eye on our camera in Tuscaloosa, if y'all want to watch that very carefully, if you see any structure, let me know. Again, there's Highway 82. There's downtown Coker. We got Romulus and Foster's. There are indications of some rotation down here as well. There could be a new spin up trying to develop down here. We'll need to watch that carefully for maybe another tornado trying to develop here along this line of storm. So let me go over to our hazard and see what our computer is tripping here in terms of an algorithm. Again, it's showing a mesocyclone. We know that's there. Let's look at the debris signature, see if we got anything. I don't see any screaming evidence of debris here yet, which is good news, but understand the radar beam is several thousand feet off the ground here. So, again, that could easily change with that. If you guys just want to hit the speaker on that.
Yeah.
When the University of Alabama has a tornado warning, you get all kinds of alerts, so I apologize for all the racket in the background. They're trying to warn us, but we're trying to warn you too. So, again, let me go back over the velocity display. Okay. Jacob, it looks like the northern circulation that's coming up on Coker doesn't look as impressive as it did about 5 minutes ago, but
right.
There could be potentially more rotation developing down here near Romulus. Need to watch that as well. So let me tell you what, I'm going to pan off to the northeast just a little bit. It's going to change the velocity display, I believe. We get closer there, we go closer to Birmingham. Again, looks like we got a couple of areas of rotation, one that's just north of Romulus, one that's coming up on Coker now. Okay, we've got Lake Lurleen State Park out here. This is going to cross right around Lake Lurleen. The potential for a tornado is there. Okay, here's downtown Tuscaloosa. This is all just to the west of downtown Tuscaloosa. You got Taylorville and Shelton there. Let me show you the warning. Show you who's in that. And again, here's your tornado warning polygon. Technically includes the UA campus, points north. Now, if you're south UA campus down towards interstate, you're not in this warning. Down towards Shelton, Taylorville, you're not under the tornado warning. This includes roughly UA campus back towards downtown Northport, interchange of 69 and 82. Okay, you go up 43. Go up 69, and again, this does include Lake Tuscaloosa. If you live along Lake Tuscaloosa, you need to be in a shelter now. You need to be in the lowest floor of your home. Any walls between you and the outside is possible. If you're in a mobile home, got to get out of that. Get out of a mobile home, find a site-built structure. You got to get out of a car. If you're driving on any of these highways up here on 69, 43, 171, 82, you got to get out of a car and find a structure to get into, because a car, a mobile home can easily be damaged or destroyed by a weak tornado. Even if this is an EF0, EF1 type of tornado, that could easily happen. So again, out of a car, out of a mobile home. If you are in a site-built structure, we want you on the lowest floor of your home. If you're in an apartment, you need to be on the lowest floor of your apartment. If you are in a site-built structure, you get in a bathroom, bathtub, anywhere to protect you for the potential for a tornado, or in a closet. Anything like that, just away from exterior rooms. You want to be in an interior room. Again, that will potentially save your life if a tornado is coming through here indeed. So again, that's your tornado warning for Tuscaloosa. I'm going to pull up our camera that is on UA campus. This is on Bryant-Denny Stadium. We're just going to kind of look at this thing together. And again, what you're looking at is in the general direction of where this tornadic storm is. And I'm looking off towards the west and northwest. At the moment, I don't see any obvious signs of a tornado here. Doesn't mean there's not one. There's a lot of rain involved with it. There's a lot of moisture. It's going to be kind of hard to see this thing because it's going to be likely wrapped up. You see the buildings of downtown Tuscaloosa right there, the water tower by the amphitheater. There's the Tuscaloosa County Courthouse you see in the distance. And again, we're just looking at this thing together to see if we see any screaming evidence of a tornado here. I do not at the moment. There is a very dark area that could be potentially lowering back here to the northwest of Tuscaloosa. There's so much rain involved. There's so much haze. It's really hard to see. Jacob, anything coming from you guys over there?
Yeah, I'm looking at the radar, and there's just really heavy rain right in front of where the rotation would be, so it's kind of shielding our view from any possible rotation. But again, the strongest rotation looks to be now kind of around the Coker area, so we're looking off to the west-northwest here from the camera.
Yeah, and I'm just kind of panning the skies here. Again, this is looking from UA campus in Tuscaloosa. Okay. And again, we've got a tornado warning for a situation. There's a storm that could potentially produce a tornado. And at the moment, I don't see any sign of a tornado itself. But as you're saying, there's so much rain in here, it's going to be hard to see it.
Right.
But what we are going to do, we're going to continue to keep an eye on our camera here in Tuscaloosa. Again, this is on Bryant-Denny Stadium. And we're looking in the general direction of where this tornado would be. And, you know, one good thing is I don't see a tornado, but that doesn't mean there's not one there, because the fact that there's just so much rain and moisture in the air, it's just going to be kind of obscure a view here from that.
And Richard, I do have the radar up in the background. It looks like the overall rotation has weakened in the general vicinity off to the northwest of Tuscaloosa. And actually,
they just canceled it.
Yeah,
wow.
The National Weather Service agrees, and so they just canceled the tornado warning for Tuscaloosa County.
Well, that is awesome.
That's good news.
That is good news. I've got a wife, a newborn baby, and a toddler sitting in the house in the direct path of the tornadic circulation. So that is wonderful, wonderful, wonderful news. My wife will be very happy to hear that. But that doesn't mean the threat's over. Understand, a new one could easily spin up at any time. Again, what you're looking at, this is a large view of a radar across West Alabama. This line of severe thunderstorms. We have these rotational signatures that continue to spin up occasionally on this line and have been producing some damage back in Mississippi.
Right.
But again, right now we don't have any confirmed damage in Alabama that we are aware of.
And so now the city of Tuscaloosa is just under a severe thunderstorm warning for the next 50 minutes or so for damaging winds possible. And it looks like the heaviest rain now is about to move through Tuscaloosa and Northport. I'm going to zoom on into Tuscaloosa County. So again, the tornado warning has been canceled for Tuscaloosa County, but we still have a severe thunderstorm warning, and we're watching the potential for some damaging winds. But the heaviest rain is now moving, about to arrive in Tuscaloosa, Northport, and up the highway there is Samantha. So I think right now we are kind of in the all-clear rotation-wise, which is very good news. But we're continuing to monitor closely. And so right now across central Alabama, we have no tornado warnings. I'm going to go over to our watch and warnings map. You can see we just have a severe thunderstorm warning for Pickens, Greene, and Tuscaloosa County.
Yeah, Jacob, I do want to mention we've also got on the line Steve DiOrio. Steve, can you hear me?
Hey, Richard.
Hey, Steve, and you are in Northport. What exactly are you seeing over there in front of these storms?
Well, it came through maybe 10, 15 minutes ago, started raining a little bit, and it rained hard for maybe 5 minutes, then it slowed down. Now it's picking back up again. We didn't really get a whole lot of wind.
Okay.
And it's sort of, I guess, calm right now to be, in a sense, compared to what we expected, especially with the tornado warning being called.
Yes, Steve, now where exactly in Northport are you? Are you out towards Rose Boulevard, or are you closer to downtown?
Up by County, up towards, County High, Meadows Golf Course up that way.
Yeah, so you're over towards Tuscaloosa County High, so that's good news that you haven't had anything yet. Now, Steve, you have more coming at you. The worst part of the storm hasn't quite gotten to you yet. You're kind of in the storms ahead of the main line. So if you'll keep keep an update.
I can see down, darker clouds to the south, west of us a little bit. And, we did hear the tornado sirens here a little bit ago now. Since you said that's been lifted, they've sort of stopped, but the rain's picking back up here again. And the clouds are sort of, rotating a little bit, not as bad as it was. So hopefully we'll be getting through this pretty quickly.
Yes, Steve, I had mentioned, my wife and I've got a newborn baby and a 2-year-old that's at the house that's up there where you are. And they are very happy to hear that things are not so bad up that way, because they were certainly panicked, as you can say.
Absolutely.
And so was I, being a daddy. I was a little panicked myself that with a tornado warning in that part of the county that's impacting, my family. And if you see anything out there, Steve, if you'll just give us a holler back and let us know, hopefully, we'll get through this thing without any problems at all. But Steve, thank you again for information and for some encouraging news that so far things haven't been so bad over there.
You bet. I'll keep in touch.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
All right, so again, what you're looking at, this is live from Tuscaloosa, and we're looking towards the severe storms. Again, it's starting to rain here on the University of Alabama campus. I do want to mention we got Matt Breland and Danielle Davis, who is in the Weather Center with us, as well as Jacob Lanier, and we're just all kind of watching this thing together as we continue to deal with some severe weather. Matt, who just came in from Starkville. Matt, you were driving through the storms coming in. What all did you experience?
Yeah, we were in some very intense heavy rain and strong winds. Visibility was very much zero for most of Lowndes County. Headed our way towards Tuscaloosa, and we were able to get ahead of the storm once we crossed over the Alabama state line. And just looking at it, the sky was very, very ominous looking. There was a lot of strong winds ahead of the storm, and the rainfall was just incredible. The rainfall rates were not good for driving at all.
Yeah, we had mentioned, the threat for flash flooding with this, and, you're talking about the roads. I mean, how bad were the roads driving through this? Did you have a lot of pockets or ponding on the roads?
Ponding was very much on the roads, yes. Quickly, too. It was very quick spreading of the rain on the roads, too.
Yeah, and that's one thing, we're encouraging people to do is to stay out. Look at the spider. Good grief. Oh, my gosh. Kind of scared me there. I said, whoa, what is that? You never know what you go. Well, you never know what you're going to see there. Chris Dodson, who's running our control room, said the spider's been hanging out there for weeks. So you never know what you're going to see on the camera. But fortunately, we don't see a tornado on our camera, and that is something we are very, very thankful for. But again, what you're looking at, this is live from Tuscaloosa. We've got very heavy rain coming in. The tornado warning has been allowed to expire, but we continue to watch things carefully for, possibly other rotational signatures pop up on the line. Again, that's kind of the latest on that. Again, we got Danielle Davis, who is here in the Weather Center. And Danielle, you're kind of keeping an eye on things as well. Have you heard of any damage so far in our area?
I haven't.
While we watch the spider dancing across the screen, that is.
He's trying to take cover too.
I've got a windshield wiper on this thing. I'm going to be mean. I'm going to actually turn this on.
Well, we haven't gotten any reports of damage yet. Oh, here's more alerts. But if you are in Tuscaloosa and you do have damage, we'd love for you to send us your pictures so we can get that updated and let the National Weather Service know.
Yeah, Danielle, here's the information on your screen. If you want to tweet us, Facebook, send us pictures and basically what's happening at your house. And again, we're in Bryant-Denny Stadium, and they have an amazing alert system. This thing will warn you if there is a tornado coming your way or severe weather. And if you can hear that over my microphone, we have a loudspeaker in here, and they're trying to tell us that there's severe weather in the area. But, the funny thing is we already know, but it's a warning system the University of Alabama has, and we're certainly very thankful for that because, a lot of students on campus are able to get these alerts very quickly. So if you hear that over the loudspeaker every now and then, don't be alarmed. That's just a technique to warn people on the University of Alabama campus. And, again, we are located in Bryant-Denny Stadium. Let me go back over to radar and show you what we got going on here because we got a line of severe storms that are coming in to West Alabama. Okay, your line of storms extends from Winston County through Walker and Fayette counties, Tuscaloosa County, down to Greene County, Western Hale County, Eastern Sumter County, and Western Marengo County. And guys, if y'all want to kill your mics real quick just so we don't have the back feed there. So again, that's the latest situation on that. I apologize for the noise in the background. I know it's kind of loud and chaotic. It's because of the University of Alabama. They have an alert system, and it is in our office as well. So it's just a policy the University of Alabama has to alert students. Okay, so here we go on radar. And again, this is a line of severe thunderstorms capable of producing damaging straight-line winds. Here's a watch warning map. And, hey, one encouraging thing to note, Pickens County, Lamar County, Marion, Winston, and Coleman County are not under tornado watch. They have trimmed Lamar and Pickens County. The yellow counties are under tornado watch. And the last severe thunderstorm warning we currently have is for Tuscaloosa County. We did have a tornado warning a few moments ago, but again, that tornado warning has expired for Tuscaloosa County. Again, we got the potential for damaging straight line winds there as well. So what we're looking at now through about 8 o'clock for West Alabama, the risk of damaging winds and a few isolated tornadoes that could spin up on this line will continue. For East Alabama, we got 5 p.m. to midnight in terms of a time frame, what time the severe storms will be there. Understand as the line moves into East Alabama, the air's going to be a little more stable there. So I think the chance for severe weather is somewhat more limited. But I still want you on guard for the chance for damaging winds, perhaps an isolated tornado as well. So again, here is a live look. We're looking for Bryant-Denny Stadium in Tuscaloosa. And again, what we're looking at is very heavy rain coming into the city as we speak. And I tell you what, Jacob, if you want to give us a radar tour, I'm going to check some social media stuff because I know we do have some damage that's ongoing across East Mississippi from some tornadic storms earlier. I'm going to try to get that information on the screen as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So right now we're just giving a big recap across central Alabama. We have one severe thunderstorm warning right now. That is in Tuscaloosa County, so I'm going to zoom in. Our main threat with this is damaging wind gusts up to 60 miles per hour. The heaviest rain is right now moving through the Northport and Tuscaloosa areas. But once this line passes, our severe weather threat will essentially end for the day. So that is why Pickens County has been removed from the tornado watch. And there are currently no tornado warnings across central Alabama. We just have this one severe thunderstorm warning, and that is going until 1 o'clock or 1:15, I think.
Let's see, severe thunderstorm warning goes until 1:45.
So yeah, it's because these storms have slowed down kind of. So this is moving now at 35 to 45 miles per hour off to the north and east. So you can see the heaviest rain now up I-20 and then over towards Tuscaloosa. And then north of Tuscaloosa, Northport, up US 43 towards Samantha. Some heavy rain and up near Wyndham Springs. But damaging winds is the primary threat with this. As I zoom back out, north of Tuscaloosa County up here, Jasper, you're about to get some of the heavy rain and gusty winds. I think you could see wind gusts up to 40 miles per hour in Jasper and along Interstate 22. We did have a tornado warning up here about 30 minutes ago or so, but that has expired. We have no warnings for Jasper, just some damaging winds possible, 40 to 50 miles per hour. And then now south of Tuscaloosa, you can see down I-20 that is now moving through Demopolis. So Demopolis, you're about to see some of the strongest winds of the day as this storm moves through within the next 10 minutes or so. But the only warning right now is in Tuscaloosa County.
Hey, I do want to mention the National Weather Service is watching a sail out ahead of the line down in Hale County. And before we do that, Jake, if you want to pull on the internet computer here. That one. This is what came through Columbus a little bit earlier, just to kind of show you what things look like. I believe this on Highway 82.
Wow. And
look at the winds that were coming across here. You see some people that pulled over on the side of the highway. This was very close to Columbus. Very powerful winds coming through that area. So this just kind of gives you an idea of what we could be looking at with this line of storms coming in. So we certainly encourage people not to be driving on the highways, even if you're under severe thunderstorm warning or if you're under tornado warning. There we go, tornado warning, Hale County. All right, so we've got a tornado warning for Hale County now.
Yeah, there it is, just to the south of I-20.
Yeah, this is an individual storm that's out ahead of the line, which is very interesting. This is a more of a cellular type of storm. It's kind of out here by itself, and again, that's the tornado warning that is in effect for a thunderstorm that is capable of producing a tornado. They're very close to Greensboro, and that is in Hale County. Okay, so we got a brand new tornado warning. Let me go over to the wall and I'll show you that. And guys, what was that tornado warning until?
That tornado warning is going until 1:45.
Okay, 1:45. So we got a tornado warning in effect for central Hale County until 1:45. It's now 1:07. Let me take you into the storm that is showing signs of rotation. And again, this is south of Tuscaloosa. This is south of Moundville. Looks like the potential for tornadoes basically on the northwest side of Greensboro. Right here, here's Highway 69. We've got the Havana Junction right here. The tornado is going to be south of the Havana Junction. There's Highway 25 that runs north of Greensboro. The tornado is going to be up here in northern and eastern Hale County here pretty shortly, eventually moving to western Bibb County if it continues its rotation. Let me pull on the velocity display, and we're going to look at this live. And again, there's your couplet right there on Highway 14. There's Sawyerville. There's Greensboro. We got indication of rotation out ahead of this line of storms in a individual thunderstorm that has supercellular characteristics. And this is, again, just on the north side of Greensboro. So if you are in Greensboro, you need to be in a safe place if you live north of town especially. And really anybody on 69 from the Havana Junction down to Greensboro, we want you to be in that lowest floor of your home, any walls between you and the outside as you can. You got to get out of mobile home. If you're in a car, do not drive on 25 or 69 between Moundville and Greensboro, or on 25 between Greensboro and central Bibb County. Okay, so there's your tornadic circulation. There is Sawyerville's right here behind me. Okay, 14 runs right through downtown Greensboro. This is in central Hale County. This is north of Highway 80. This is south of Moundville. All right, there's your rotation. There's your couplet right there where we have strong inbound and outbound winds, where we have a rotating area mesocyclone. I'm going to pull on the radar display out of Birmingham. And again, there's your notch. Okay, this is a thunderstorm that's out here kind of by itself. Out ahead of the main line. It's not competing with energy from the atmosphere. You've got a straight south wind off the Gulf into this thunderstorm. And again, there it is, a rotating thunderstorm. Again, there's Highway 25. That runs out of downtown Greensboro. Downtown sits right there. I think if you're in downtown Greensboro, you're okay. But if you live on the north side of town, all right, if you're on the north side of Greensboro, you need to be in a safe place now. And again, that does include the lowest floor of your home, any walls between you and the outside as possible. Again, out of a car, out of a mobile home, find a storm shelter, a site-built structure. Now, this is a cell that's out here by itself, so it has a better chance of producing a tornado. So there could be a tornado here. I also think there's going to be potentially some quarter-size hail crossing 69 just south of the Havana Junction. You see the darker shades of purple and black there. That indicates some larger hail. There's your inflow notch. Again, it's not incredibly well-defined, but it's showing characteristics that it's trying to wrap up and become better organized. So let me tell you what, let me take you out to wide view quickly, show everybody out there. Because we do have a line of severe storms coming through. Let me put on the watch warning map. Okay. And there is your warning. Now, we got a severe thunderstorm warning for most of Tuscaloosa County. We got a tornado warning for basically the northern eastern half of Hale County. Technically, the tornado warning does include Moundville, down Highway 69 to Greensboro. Okay, and then points northeast, basically up Highway 25. The tornado watch has been allowed to expire for Lamar and Pickens County as the risk of severe weather has ended for those particular counties. Now, I want to show you a view from Tuscaloosa. Let me pull up our camera here. This is from Bryant-Denny Stadium in Tuscaloosa. The temperature has dropped significantly down to 69, and wind is out of the northwest at 16. So the cold front, or at least the colder air associated with this line, has come on through Tuscaloosa. And guys, anything coming from this storm so far?
We have no reports from this tornado warning, but I think, is that in Lake Tuscaloosa? We may be getting some pictures in now from Tuscaloosa County, so I'll pull that up and hopefully we can get it.
Yeah, that's Lake Tuscaloosa, what you're looking at in that picture. And we're looking at this in the background now. What you're looking at live is a view from Tuscaloosa. This is from Bryant-Denny Stadium. And we're just kind of panning the skies here. We don't have a tornado warning for the city, but we do have a severe thunderstorm warning, just kind of trying to get an idea of what's happening with wind here on UA campus. And, you know, the best invention, I think, ever was to put a windshield wiper on a camera. We used to have a camera on top of Reese Pfeiffer, and it did not have a windshield wiper. And if it rained, you're just kind of out of luck. There's the east side of the storm. Again, you're looking kind of out away from the thunderstorm in Tuscaloosa. That's Reese Pfeiffer right there at the bottom of your screen. I'll tell you what, I'm going to pan down. again, this is in Tuscaloosa, so we're just going to kind of look at things together. And really, I don't see much wind here in Tuscaloosa. You see traffic on University Boulevard is flowing along just fine. But we're going to keep an eye on the camera. If we see any strong winds here, you know, we'll certainly let you know. But we're still under severe thunderstorm warning in Tuscaloosa. We do have a chance for damaging straight-line winds. Again, we got Matt Breland, who is also in the Weather Center. And Matt, if you want to take us down into that Hale County storm and give us a kind of radar roundup of that, I'm going to get some pictures here in the Weather Center, try to get some of those on air. So, Matt, if you'll take it away.
Sure thing. Yeah, so in Hale County, we are seeing that little bit of rotation.
I'll turn your mic on, Matt. Yeah, so we are down in Hale County where we do have a tornado warning in effect. So if you want to go over that storm where we got, again, the potential for a tornado is there in Hale County. Looks like it's north of Greensboro.
Yeah, north of Greensboro, we are seeing that little bit of rotation right over there, and it is traveling to the northeast.
Hey, Chris, Matt is on wireless 5, the law call mic, if that helps you out. Again, while they get Matt's mic situated there, again, what you're looking at on radar is a thunderstorm that's out ahead of the main line itself. It has the potential for producing a tornado on the north side of Greensboro. We'll just have to get another mic because that one's acting goofy on us. So again, what you're looking at on the radar is a potential for a tornado that is north of Greensboro. And again, we have an inflow notch right there that's just south of the Havana Junction, really between downtown Greensboro and the Havana Junction. So again, if you are you need to be in a safe place now if you're north of Greensboro, and especially between the Havana Junction and downtown Greensboro. That's where the potential is higher for a tornado there with that particular storm. And I believe it's Mike's up now. Yeah, Mike, I think it's Mike's up now, Chris. Hey, if you guys want to kill that mic in the background, Chris.
Okay, I think we're good now.
Okay, we're good now. Microphones, you got to love that. So, all right, so what we're looking at is radar. Again, a potential storm that could be producing a tornado over Hale County. And Matt's going to give us an update on that while I get some pictures here in the Weather Center and on air for you guys.
Yeah, so if you are in the city of Ingram, it looks like that the storm is headed that direction as well, over towards also in the town of Phipps. We are going to be seeing this strong storm pass through. Pretty soon we're going to be expect strong winds within this also, and more of damaging winds and heavy rain will be passing through. This is Hale County that we're seeing this storm passing, and if you are anywhere between Harper Hill and Ingram, this is where that tornado warned storm is going to continue tracking towards the northeast, and we are seeing lots of strong rotation within this as well. So yeah, checking on the velocity, we can see some of that rotation just along south of Harper Hill, traveling northeast. So once again, Ingram, cities of Ingram. If you're south of Ingram as well, looks like that this storm will be approaching you guys pretty soon. So make sure that you are in your safe zone. Stay indoors, get inside the bathroom, put as many walls between you as possible, and stay away from windows. And even if this tornado warning does get lifted, this storm is still severe. We are going to be expecting damaging winds within the storm system too that are going to be strong enough to probably cause some damage to, probably could bring down some trees as well with this. And so, yeah, the radar and this is checking the velocity as well.
Yeah, you know, Matt, one thing we do need to talk about is the damaging wind threat. Not only is there a threat for a tornado here, you could see some damaging winds, and it looks like even some hail with that as well. So, again, that's a situation we need to carefully watch for the potential for a tornado that's down over Hale County. Let me take you to the north. And again, this is in Tuscaloosa County. We've got a severe thunderstorm that is coming through the county. Looks like possibly some small hail up on Tears Patton Road. This is over on Lake Tuscaloosa area, the north end of Lake Tuscaloosa. Maybe some dime-sized hail, maybe some quarter-sized hail. Again, the severe thunderstorm warning technically includes the chance for some small hail, but the main threat is going to be damaging straight-line winds. And you can actually see that in the radar. The velocity here, you see the stronger inbound winds, which represents kind of a lighter shade of green. that's coming across the Lake Tuscaloosa now. But one good thing is I don't see any sign of rotation with that storm. Let me look off to the north. Do not see any rotating thunderstorms to the north. So again, let's go back to the south. We're going to focus on this storm. I'll take you on a wide view real quick and show you everybody out there what we got. Again, we got this line of severe thunderstorms, very heavy rain, intense lightning, with a chance for a few spin-up tornadoes within this line. We've got one cell that's out ahead of the line that's south of Moundville that could be producing a tornado, but the line of storms is really from Winston County through Jasper and Walker County down to Tuscaloosa, down the Black Warrior River to Demopolis. Areas like Demopolis and Linden being impacted heavily by strong to severe thunderstorms. All right. Let me take you back into the storm in Hale County, show you that because that's where our tornado warning is ongoing. And this is for a thunderstorm that's out ahead of the main line. And again, here's your inflow notch. And again, here's the Havana Junction. Right there, you see the Phillips community there. Okay, you got Ingram there. There's Highway 25 that runs up into Bibb County. This is going to be just on basically the north side of Highway 25. Downtown Greensboro, you're fine, but that's your inflow notch with your potential for a tornado. Let me pull on the hazards here. And our computer is not triggering anything in terms of rotation, which is good. You know, we don't want to see that. It doesn't mean there's not a tornado there. We'll go back over to the velocity display. And really the rotation is kind of weakened with this. It's not as organized as it once was about 10 to 15 minutes ago. It looks like this thing may be kind of pulsing back down, but it's still ahead of the main line, so it means we need to be certainly watching this thing carefully because this thing could easily spin down a tornado. It's competing with nothing. I mean, there's all this rich, moist air that's moving right into this thunderstorm. So we really need to watch this carefully for this thing to spin up and become more intense. But again, there's the Phillips community right there. Okay, we got Ingram down to Highway 69. Havana Junction, if you're on the Havana Junction points northwest, the tornado threat's going to be south of you. We're going to have some damaging straight line winds come through, but the tornado threat itself is going to be south of there. I'll pull back on the Birmingham reflectivity display here. There we go. And again, this cell is really showing signs of weakening. It's not as organized as it was a little bit earlier. We still want you to be in a safe place if you're north of Greensboro. Again, north of, Okay, let me know, Chris. All right, so again, what we got here, we got a thunderstorm that could be producing a tornado. We have not so far had damage reports from that. We'll keep an eye on things. We're in contact with the EMA down in Hale County as well. We're going to get information soon from that, hopefully encouraging news. Let me pan off to the north here. Again, there's your tornadic storm in Hale County. North of that, we got very heavy rain that's coming across downtown Tuscaloosa now, Northport up Lake Tuscaloosa. Very heavy rain falling, some strong gusty winds as well. We talked to Steve DiOrio a little bit earlier. He did not have any damage where he was out on Rose Boulevard in Northport, close to the county high, which is fantastic. Hopefully that trend will continue. But again, we do have the chance for damaging straight line winds with a severe thunderstorm warning that does include most of Tuscaloosa County. Keep in mind, at this point, we were supposed to be in the Tuscaloosa Regional Air Show, which would be ongoing right now. Fortunately, the officials there made the right move. They decided to cancel today. Tomorrow's going to be fine. It's going to be cooler and a little bit of cloud cover, but tomorrow is no problem at all in terms of weather conditions. Today, this would have been a disaster. We got a severe storm coming across an area where a lot of people would have been outdoors. If you've ever been to the Tuscaloosa Regional Air Show, there's thousands of people out there, and basically it's like a gridlock for, an hour or two just to get out of there. So, if people are out there, there's not much shelter at the Tuscaloosa Airport. So we're very fortunate they decided to cancel that. Right move on their part to do that today, because this severe thunderstorm is coming right through there with strong winds and also frequent lightning, very heavy rainfall. So fortunate they did cancel that for today. Again, it continues tomorrow, and we'll be out there tomorrow. The entire WVUA crew will be out there during that event tomorrow. So come out and meet us for that. The weather will be much more calm. So, okay, Samantha down to Northport. There's your very heavy rain. I'm going to pan. I tell you what, let me pan to the south. Okay, and we got heavy rain coming through Foster's, Ralph, Knoxville. There's your tornadic storm that's very close to Ingram. Okay. Just to the southeast of the Havana Junction, there's your inflow notch, your potential tornado. There's Moundville. Here's Highway 69. Highway 60 interchanges to the Havana Junction. Okay, right by the store there on the junction. This is going to be southeast of that, moving northeast just like that. If you are in Moundville, I know technically Moundville isn't a tornado warning, but I think the threat is going to be to the east of Moundville, just by a few miles. But again, if you're in Moundville, the threat for a tornado is to your east. If this holds together, Highway 82 needs to be alert for the potential for a tornado coming up towards the Duncanville area in southeast portions of Tuscaloosa County. But again, we also have this activity back to the west. It's coming through Akron now and Sawyerville with the risk of damaging straight-line winds. Was the warning just canceled for that?
Yeah, so the National Weather Service is saying the rotation has broadened quite a bit down there in Hale County, so that tornado warning has been canceled. So we're tornado warning free across central Alabama. The only warning that remains is a severe thunderstorm warning for Tuscaloosa County, and that's for about 20 more minutes, Richard.
Okay. So, again, we continue the severe thunderstorm warning for Tuscaloosa County. Let me take us out to a wide view and show the entire area in terms of the watch warning map. Again, there's a severe thunderstorm warning. Also got a severe thunderstorm warning up in Coleman County. I do want to mention that as well. We'll need to watch that storm, too, that's going through Coleman County. Again, what you're looking at, the yellow counties, that is a tornado watch in effect until 7 o'clock tonight. The orange polygon, this covers much of Tuscaloosa. That is a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for Tuscaloosa County. Okay. Just looking at some information behind the screen here. And so far, so good. Guys, have y'all seen any reports?
No reports, but we do have a few pictures coming in of just in Tuscaloosa now, moving over DCH. Kind of just some low clouds as this storm is moving through, possibly associated with some of those gusty or damaging winds. So this is over DCH, as you can see, some low clouds, maybe a shelf cloud possibly, but just some winds 40 to 50 miles per hour now moving through the Tuscaloosa area and on into eastern Tuscaloosa County right now.
Yeah, and one good thing is I haven't heard of any wind damage here in Tuscaloosa yet. Hopefully that trend will continue. I want to show you radar loop. This line of storms really seems to be kind of beefing up a little bit. I think it's starting getting some better instability across our area. Let me pull over the last hour. And if you look at the loop over the past hour or so, it seems like it's really beginning to kind of intensify. So we may see an increase of a damaging wind threat. And potentially, a few isolated tornadoes along the line as well. So, again, if you are just now joining us, I'm Chief Meteorologist Richard Scott. We got entire crew here watching this situation carefully as we deal with severe thunderstorms and move it across Alabama. We've had several tornado warnings, have not had any reports so far here in the area. That doesn't mean that we're out of the woods. We got a lot of rain to go, by the way, very, very heavy rain. Continues to track in from the southwest. I think we're going to have some flash flooding issues out of this as well as this continues to move through our area. So, again, that's a look at the radar from a wide perspective. Let me pull up, let's see. This is the HRRR, and this is a computer model, kind of give you an idea of what things are going to look like into the afternoon. And you notice towards 4 or 5 o'clock, storms are moving further east into central Alabama. By around 7 or 8 o'clock, the heavier storms are in east Alabama with just some heavy rain in west Alabama. But it really looks like the severe weather risk will likely end in our west Alabama counties, I would say by probably by 4 or 5 o'clock. I would say everybody west of I-65 should be in the clear from severe weather. It looks like it'll be all in the east Alabama, east of Interstate 65 at that point. Again, with very heavy rain that will continue for West Alabama for several more hours. I do want to remind you, if you have any pictures to tweet those to us, we're going to get some of those on air as well. There's my Twitter information, Facebook as well. And I do want to remind you, if you go over to WVUA23.com and hit the weather tab, we got a live severe weather stream option. We're also on Facebook Live. I do want to mention that. We are on there, just a different source of information to get to you. So, if you can't watch us on television, if you're somewhere where you can't, then that is the source of information. Look at this cooler air taking over. This is something interesting, guys. Wow. If you notice, the temperatures are starting to drop. now 66 in Tuscaloosa. And that's bringing an end to the severe weather risk.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we were talking about that, Richard. As this line of storms passes your home, the severe risk will substantially decrease quickly. So, but Birmingham is still under the gun for the next hour or two as storms are heading their way. We're just now exiting the heaviest rain here in Tuscaloosa County. Coleman County still has a sliver of it in a severe thunderstorm warning, so along 65 in Coleman County is some of those heavier wind and rain will be moving in shortly. So yeah, you're looking at the temperature map, and really as that moves through, the severe weather is coming quickly to an end. And taking a better view across the southeast, you can see the radar loop. It's moved from Mississippi into Alabama, and Richard was just saying how that line has strengthened as it's moved into more unstable air. We're in the afternoon hours now. It's 1:30. And so we've seen some more instability across central Alabama, and that's could be beefing up this line of thunderstorms with some heavy rains and some damaging winds at times. But again, like Richard was saying, as this line passes, the threat will turn just to some steady rain and possibly localized flooding as we go throughout the afternoon and evening.
Yeah, and again, we got Matt Breland, who's in the Weather Center with us as well. And Matt, we're looking live in Tuscaloosa, and one thing I notice is I don't see any very strong winds here in town.
Yeah, it looks like the main threat of winds and heavy rain is starting to pass its way out of Tuscaloosa. But I would say Birmingham needs to keep a close eye on this. Also, the folks that are just north of Birmingham as well, like you folks right there in between the Coleman area and just a few miles south of Huntsville as well. This line of storms is going to be approaching, guys, and it is moving fast too. I know when I was on my way over here, we stopped for gas for just a second, and it wasn't maybe 3 minutes until the line of storms was already catching back up to us. So it's a very quickly moving line of storms. It's really gaining some power and some momentum with it. So make sure that you are staying off the roads, because the roads will start to have that ponding on it very soon with as much rainfall as falling from it. And like we've been saying too, the winds inside these storms are pretty strong. You saw that footage that we had earlier from Columbus that is associated with this line, and the winds and the rain, it's really packing a punch.
Yeah, and I was going to pull up the rainfall map just to see kind of where we stand so far, because I was interested in seeing that, because I know we've had some pretty heavy rain so far come across the area. And let me see if I can find that rainfall map so far. Here we go. I'm going to load this up on the screen, just kind of see what all has fallen so far. And look at Columbus. You know, you drove through Columbus earlier through that.
Oh, yes, I believe it. Yeah, that rainfall in Columbus, yeah, we've got the spider on the map that we're seeing right there.
In the Weather Center. Good grief.
Yes, Columbus definitely was getting some very intense rainfall, and it is still staying over them at the moment, but that main producer of that heavy precipitation, that heavy rain, is starting to make its way through central Alabama right now, and yeah, this is some pretty intense rainfall.
You know, you see Tuscaloosa has 1/100 of an inch of rain. I can guarantee that is not correct. I don't know if there's a power failure maybe at the airport, but again, we've had some tremendous amounts of rain come through Alabama over the past few hours over West Alabama. Now they're shifting off towards the east, but here's kind of look at what we're looking at for the rest of the day. In terms of severe weather, we can probably narrow that window down a little bit for West Alabama. It looks like by around 5 or 6 o'clock, the severe weather risk should be totally out of West Alabama, all east of I-65. So, and this line will begin to weaken as it moves into East Alabama. There's a little more stable over there. I still think there could be some damaging straight line winds in East Alabama, really, 5 p.m. through midnight. But based off the forward progression of this line, it may be out of there, well before midnight tonight, maybe closer to like 10 o'clock when the storms get out of there. So, again, that's the latest on that. Anything coming from the Weather Service?
They just did their balloon sounding. They did a special sounding, and it's still showing, Richard, about 1,500 Cape and some pretty good shear, some surface winds out of the southeast. So still definitely a supportive environment for some strong thunderstorms. So that's why we're monitoring this as it moves through Tuscaloosa County and now on into Jefferson County.
Yeah, and we're looking live. This is from Bryant-Denny Stadium. in Tuscaloosa, and again, conditions out there are pretty nasty. We've got some pretty heavy rain coming into town, and looks like another batch of heavier rain about to come right through the downtown Tuscaloosa area. But in terms of severe weather risk, I think the severe weather risk for the city of Tuscaloosa is starting to come to an end with this event. So again, the big deal is the leading edge of this stuff, the leading edge of this line, and that's where we're going to have any issues. But again, once you get past the first 20 or 30 minutes of this line of storms, then it's just going to be more of some rain across the area. Again, here's a look at a radar. Let me give you a quick radar tour, and we're going to go back over the program here in a little bit. We just want to kind of make sure there's nothing out there that's going to spin up on us on this line. And if you guys in the Weather Center, if y'all want to kind of keep an eye on the radar, the velocity, and if you see anything spin up, let me know. But again, here we go on this line of storms are from Coleman to Jasper to Tuscaloosa down to Demopolis. Now, west of that, if you're back towards Haydenville, Fayette, Reform, Livingston, Utah, the risk of severe weather is ended for you. Again, this is the leading edge of this stuff, the leading edge of this line that's coming up on the Birmingham Metro in the next, I'd say, hour should be in the Birmingham Metro. But let me give you a tour. I'm going to start you over southwest Alabama, down in Marengo County. Okay, let me pan you off to the north. And if you're watching us down at Dixon's Mills, Sweetwater, we've got an intense thunderstorm, not classified as severe, but it is strong. That's coming through Linden. All right, Dayton, Thomaston, Fonsdale, you're going to be impacted by this very quickly. There is a Boeing segment down here coming across Highway 69. There's New Bern in Hale County. Greensboro sits there. Again, there could be some damaging straight line winds that's coming out of Demopolis, moving east. Again, this will impact Perry County. Not technically a warning for that, but I would not be surprised if a severe thunderstorm warning is issued pretty shortly for that. Again, go up to the north in Tuscaloosa County. Got heavy rain coming across the area. Nothing in terms of damage reports so far out of this, which is fantastic news. Hopefully that will continue. Now, we've also got Jabari Pruitt. Jabari, and you got some updates on shelter. I think you're going to come in here in just a minute. Jabari, if you want to come on in and give us an update of what's happening in terms of shelters here in the area.
Well, right now I did talk with Rob Robinson from the Tuscaloosa County EMA, and all 4 shelters in the city of Tuscaloosa are open. The Tuscaloosa Magnet School on the 315 McFarland Boulevard East, University Place School, Tuscaloosa Career and Technology Academy on MLK Boulevard open, and the Alberta School of Performing Arts all open. Those shelters are open, and out in the county, pretty much all of those shelters are open as well. But in the city of Tuscaloosa, all 4 shelters are open.
Awesome. And again, that's Jabari Pruitt with an update on the shelters here in the Tuscaloosa County area. So if you live in a mobile home, if you're in a car, that's a great idea somewhere you can go as this severe weather comes on through. Now, fortunately for the west side of the county, severe weather risk is ending. But if you are out ahead of this stuff, and if you live in a mobile home, if you're in a car, there's multiple shelters, Jabari Pruitt just mentioned, places you can go to seek shelter as these storms come on through. Again, we've got a severe thunderstorm warning. The tornado warning has expired for Tuscaloosa, which is good news. So let me go up to the north now, and we've got intense thunderstorms. Another Boeing segment up here just on the east side of downtown Jasper, the Empire community. Okay, Robbins Crossroads, you're going to be impacted by strong winds, potentially damaging straight line winds. Again, with this Boeing segment, we've got to watch that carefully. Coleman County, technically we still got a severe thunderstorm warning for the Jones Chapel area, mainly the north end of Smith Lake and points north, okay? This includes areas just west of downtown Coleman. Severe thunderstorm warning for that particular thunderstorm. So let me take you out to home view, and we're going to go back over to a program. Just want to make sure we don't have anything out there that's going to surprise us. And guys in the Weather Center, anything coming in that we need to report before we go back?
No, I've been monitoring the velocity, and I'm not seeing any rotations along the front edge of this storm. The National Weather Service is saying that they're monitoring the southern half, so south of I-20 for some re-strengthening possible, but no warnings as of now, and I'm not really seeing any rotation on radar either.
All right, well, that's fantastic news. So far, we haven't had any damage reports in our local area. at least widespread damage. There was some damage back in Mississippi. Had a tornado go through Meridian a little bit earlier this afternoon, or late this morning into this afternoon. That is all crossed into Alabama, and no sign of anything in terms of producing a tornado currently. So what we're going to do, we'll go back over the program. We're going to take a break. We'll be back here at 2 o'clock for a live severe weather update. If we have a tornado warning before that, we'll be right here on TV, also Facebook Live, and again online, WVUA23.com. Hit that weather tab, live severe weather stream on there as well. So I'll see you here for another update at 2 o'clock.